How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody is doing famously. It is a particularly nice day for us here. It's really weird. I should say this for a second. It's really, really weird. We are at the beginning of, top of April. It is the 6th, I think, yeah? Top of April. And we got one of the biggest snows that we've had this year. And I'm not normally someone who likes to talk about the weather. But I thought it was so nice. It's like 7 inches of snow. And Wednesday, it's going to be like 91 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't know if it's fitting that we're playing this, climb to the snow-capped mountain now, or if it's more fitting, I guess, because of that. But it's super, super nice. So I'm really enjoying that. So I hope everybody else is enjoying their Sunday, wherever you might be, as best as you possibly can. I hope, firstly, that it's as favorable, perhaps, as this one has been to me, and I appreciate it I appreciate you guys for stopping in and saying hi, or even taking a look afterwards. Now, what I normally do is I normally say, if you are someone who, maybe you enjoy kind of the general vibe of what I do, and maybe I'm playing a game that you're not particularly interested in, or maybe there's something that you feel that you might be more interested in, I highly recommend taking a look at the channels that I have linked down below. That's going to be, I believe, Ash Talks, which is going to be a game channel on just candid talk on games. And so subscribing there to see what he has forthcoming, I think is going to be a great idea. It's something that I'm super excited to see again. We have Omega Ace Gaming, who's been gaming on one of the Mega Man games, one of the Rockman and Bass games, I think it actually is, but one of the Mega Man games recently. Has a tendency to put to a vote what games he has interest in, and then see what people want to play. He's played all kinds. He's a Castlevania expert, and one of the best things ever that I really like, if you're just looking for a little bit of a kind of a digestible piece of his content, is the Belmont Hold, which is his short category of Belmont Castlevania expertise. He's basically from the perspective of a Belmont. He's telling you the history or the lore of, or the origin of a particular beast, or of a particular character, which I think is really, really cool. We also have Thumbros. Thumbros has two, I think, one on Twitch and one on YouTube, where he has a tendency to do races, speedrun style things, let's game, let's practice, generally going to focus around that retro game category, Contras, Ninja Gaidens, Mega Mans, things of that nature, and wonderful to see him participate in. A lot of those, if you'll take a look at, for I think his most recent ones were he was given an opportunity to play a game, or to learn a game in a week to try and speedrun it as best as he could. And the game that I guess he was either given or that he chose was Sunset Riders, which is a very difficult game for the Super Nintendo. And he gets through it. I'm not going to spoil you with the time, but I will say he gets through it way more quickly than I would have imagined, considering he only had a week to learn the game and then to try and run it. Very, very impressive. And I think those efforts are on video on demand, either on YouTube or on Twitch, but and possibly both. I heavily recommend checking that out. We also have gaming videos and Vidi Plays. Vidi Plays being the candid kind of, just playing with a friend, hopping online or couch co-op or whatever, playing games like Banjo-Kazooie. And he kind of just candidly, he does kind of what I'm doing here. He kind of just relives his whether it be his childhood or his adolescence, whatever the case might be. He relives fond moments in his time through the video games and kind of relays that to you. Now, in my case, I'm actually trying a game new. I do like to play. I have playlists of games that I've played before, and I'll get into that, where I kind of share the nostalgia behind them, but very, very fun. And then, of course, we have gaming videos where it's a little bit more edited and a little bit more presented as a full production effort, which is really, really impressive, I think, quite a lot. More impressive to me than anything I can accomplish, I think. And then, again, we have Fighting Max. Fighting Max kind of just does candid streams of whatever game I think tickles his fancy, and I think recently I was able to hop in a couple of days ago to a Skyrim stream, which was a ton of fun, and we talked about a bunch of stuff, so really, really nice. So I heavily recommend checking out any and all of those channels, and if you like what they provide, or if you're interested in what they provide, I would recommend doing something, whether it be subscribing or notifying, just to keep appraised of what's going to go on. I'm never one to kind of say do this or do this for call to action. In most cases, it's just I'm interested in saturating YouTube, maybe the general internet, but certainly YouTube, with content that's just more about being enjoyed and about things that people are passionate about, not things that are algorithmically the most pleasant, or things that are going to be positive to people we don't really care all that much about, sponsorships, etc., that kind of stuff. So, hey Ash, how are you doing? I hope you're feeling I hope you're feeling a lot better, but at least a little better. I hope everything's going well for you. How are you doing on this interesting... I'm saying interesting for me. It's probably like any other Sunday for a lot of people, but for us, it's an interesting Sunday, considering the nuclear winter we just got for no good reason. And while I'm looking at that, I think I have it on moderate delay, so I apologize if it takes a little longer for me to respond, because normally I have it on quick delay, or no delay, rather. No latency, or low latency, ultra low latency. I think I'm on normal latency right now, just so that I can give you a high quality version of this. I think it's 2K is the maximum output resolution for what I have right now. I can do 4K, but I mean, it's not, there's no need for 4K for this game. But I thought 2K might be nice. Trying to think really quickly what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. So for anybody who is unfamiliar with my intent in the reason I do this channel, what I do, if you are someone that's a little bit newer, I think I want to kind of put out that statement again. I do it fairly frequently, but things have changed so drastically in such a short span of time that I feel like it's incredibly important to kind of put out what my intent is here. When I started doing stuff for the channel, I started working on it, and all I'll say is I have quite a high pain threshold, and this is the worst thing I've ever had. Undoubtedly, I can't even imagine. I mean, like that. Yeah. Suffice it to say, you're a tougher man than I. I'm fairly certain of, at least in that regard. So that's, yeah. But I hope it's alleviating some. I hope you're feeling better. After some amount of time on, taking the medication and such. So. So the reason that I do what I do, the reason I'm promoting the channels that I promote, the reason I continue to do it is when I started making content, originally the idea behind it was, there was a huge, I want to say this, in 2016 when I started recording stuff, it was very divisive. The world, the state of, and specifically our country was incredibly divisive. The events were incredibly divisive within our country, let's say. And now here we are almost a decade later, and divisiveness is I didn't think it would or could, but it has gone up so much more, and its divisiveness amongst the people, its divisiveness from consumer to business, its divisiveness to from political views, from religious views. I mean, everything is basically at this all-time high where if you are this, then you can't be this. And it's really pervaded, and it's always been a little bit kind of gnawing at the edges of the gaming sphere, but I really get frustrated about that, because I believe that gaming should be an escape from all of that, from the divisiveness, from the I'm not good enough, or that's not good enough, or it's not about being good enough. It's about having fun. It's about playing games. It's about enjoying, and that's kind of where that's where I am. So it was me sitting down with my brother or with friends and just creating content that I thought would hopefully put something out there. And I hate even using the phrase creating content, because we weren't really doing that. We were just sitting down, playing games, having fun, and capturing it. And then we would edit, pieces out of it that were, maybe not, like if I had to switch a cartridge, or if I have to, if something was said that was, off to the side, because somebody's getting food, or there's maybe an address given or so, we would cut all that out, obviously, because we want to maintain our privacy to some extent. But at the same time, it was just basically recording ourselves doing things that would be fun. And now here we are, fast forward a decade, the gaming sphere is as divided as it has ever been, perhaps more in some regards, and I really, really detest that. And so it's always been my goal to just kind of come on, play games, be introduced by a great community of people, be introduced to new games that I enjoy, or maybe I won't enjoy. Maybe I'll stop because I'm like, I just don't like that game. But so far, I've played some of the recommendations, and I've really had a lot of fun with it. Maybe it's to play games that are, again, a little bit more divisive, to be like, look, this can still be fun, or no, this isn't good, not because of a political reason, but because it's just not good. I just don't enjoy it. And I've been pretty candid about that. And so it's been a lot of fun. That's the mission statement. And I think the people that are down in the description kind of encapsulate that too. They enjoy an aspect of gaming so much. They're not judging everybody else, but they enjoy an aspect of gaming so much that they do what is fun and they capture it. So appreciate you asking, though. How are you? I'm all right. I'm doing well. As I was saying earlier, we at random yesterday got 7 inches of snow. 7 inches of just absolutely packed snow. And by Wednesday, it's supposed to be 91 degrees Fahrenheit. So, freezing cold. And then, like I said, we get 7 inches of snow yesterday, and then it'll be in the 90s Fahrenheit here in a day or so. It's just insane. Really, really nice, though. I think it's healing just slowly. So long as it is healing, and so long as you're getting some alleviation from the pain and the not feeling well, I think that's what's ideal. So I'm glad to hear it. I hope it becomes more expeditious. Hi, Retro. I'll be on here for a little while, and I'll be streaming in a bit. Okay, very nice. Well, no worries. I thank you for coming in and saying hi any which way. I'm probably going to touch on a topic. It was a topic you and I kind of had discussed on your Skyrim stream, the last one that I got to be on, and then I was just kind of watching. So I would love snow right now. Oh yeah, we got 7 inches of snow last night, and I live in a desert. So we got 7 inches of snow, and then it'll be 91 or 92 something degrees Fahrenheit here in a day or so. Which is ridiculous. It's not super hot. I mean, I live where it gets to be about 115, 120 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty close to about 50, 51 Celsius. It gets hot, but we got 7 inches of snow, and it's blisteringly cold right now, and I love it. Very weird weather. It's raining where I am. Oh, that's nice. The rain's nice. My internet was weird during the Skyrim stream, but hopefully, it's okay. I enjoyed watching it. That's kind of what I had said. I think one of the guys was like, I don't know if he can see the chat or whatever, and I was like, maybe that's just the magic of being lost in a good game. I'm okay with it. So I just enjoyed watching you have fun and play. I had a cup of hot coffee, but it's so cold that my coffee is almost immediately frozen over. But yeah, no worries. I actually made my internet may be weird too. I made some updates, hardware upgrades and such, changed out for a higher processing 3-band router. I had a TP link, so it was 2 bands, and now I've got this nicer 3-band Asus high processor gaming router. So we'll see if it does any better for connectivity or not losing it. Let me switch over to the fireplace for a second so we can just talk for a minute. I always forget which one it is. It's never that one. There we go. Sorry about that. I can't wait to start making videos again. Someone up there or down there really likes to throw hurdles my way. You'll get it, though. I mean, consider this. All of the hurdles that you've overcome, it'd be a shame to not cross the finish line. I have zero doubt. I have all confidence in you. So, but at your time, at your leisure, I mean, there shouldn't be pressure to do it. It should be because you want to do it. I'm so excited for when it does start. My chat was frozen on my phone when it happened. That happens. It's no big deal. No big deal. I mean, I know you want to interact, and we all want to interact with our audiences, and I get that. But at the same time, it's like just having fun. I mean, just watching you have fun with the game was awesome. So no problem. I only drink iced coffee. I only drink iced coffee. That's fair. We drink a lot of hot coffee here for no good reason. It's ironic. You'd think in the colder temperatures you would drink hot coffee, and then the hotter temperatures. Meanwhile, I live in a desert and I drink hot coffee. You drink, you live in an area that doesn't get as hot as ours does, and yet you're drinking iced coffee. I don't imagine it's probably terribly hot right now, but I could be wrong. I'd love to see your videos. I'm just going to say, when your videos were out originally, I absolutely loved them. So I am super excited. I will certainly vouch for the quality of your content. I would barrel over laughing in a lot of cases. It was good. But then you also had, like I said, one of the most fun that I have is that your candid response to Kena, the Kena game, and I thought that was really nice too. So, all right. So we knew it was coming, and I haven't gotten to do it in a voice form. I've gotten to do it kind of back and forth with Fighting Max and a couple of the people in his chat. But we were talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, and since that conversation, I've had the opportunity to make sure that I've kind of gone over the release and the review over and over and over, because I want to have an understanding of what everything that they intend to launch looks like. And it's, when I talked about earlier, I'm talking about divisive. This is one of the more divisive console launches I've seen since the original boomerang concept of the PS3 controller, which was a long time ago. I don't know if anybody remembers, but the original PS3 controller was going to look like this gigantic silver boomerang, effectively, and it was just like, DK is back. Yes, the game lineup is great. DK, especially seeing a DK, I've been waiting for a Donkey Kong game and it'll launch this year, so we're going to say 12 years, because I worked in the gaming industry, and I actually helped to launch the original DK Tropical Freeze when it was coming out on the Wii U. And I want to be very clear for anybody who's not played Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That game is amazing. That is a phenomenal game. The music is great. The gameplay is clean. The story is fun. It's got the challenge. I mean, that is a good Donkey Kong Country game. Seeing him, there were two things I really love about this game. Watching him go into the 3D space, which I think is awesome. And then also, I love how they kind of changed his look. So the look he originally had, the look he has now, or kind of has had, with exception to the Switch game, he had the kind of like curly hair. All of his hair kind of comes to this like curl at the top, and he's got the tie. They kind of married it in with what he used to look like in the 80s, with the little Donkey Kong. They used to have a little Donkey Kong like plush thing, and it was based off of Donkey Kong from the arcade games. They kind of brought back his 1980s look, and I kind of really love that. I think it's really great. Insane how it's not all at launch, and I get that. I'm like, I get it, but it's like I'm convinced it's Odyssey. Oh, it looks like it's from the Odyssey team, and if it is, phenomenal, because Odyssey is fantastic, so I love that. Dusk Bloods. Oh my goodness. Dusk Bloods looks fantastic, and I love From Software, but this looked like not only was it going to be From Software, but it's the appropriate horror franchise, or horror-esque franchise, that I think is really, really going to be just tip-top. I'm super excited to play it. It kind of falls in that same, like, Lies of P. Like, Dark Souls is okay. It's all right. I like Bloodborne more than I like Dark Souls. And then Sekiro I thought was pretty good. And then Elden Ring I kind of liked a little bit better. And then we got to... And then there's, like, Black Myth Wukong, which I kind of love a lot. And then there is stuff like Lies of P, which I thematically love better than any of those. And then now there's going to be Duskbloods, which I anticipate putting at the top of my list. What do you feel about Mario Kart World? Do you think it's an open world aspect was good? Or sorry, do you think the open world aspect was good, and the fact that they have tracks that are supposed to be from real world locations, although it's been done already in Mario Kart Tour? I think it's... So there are a couple of things. I think there's a good... I like the idea of Mario Kart World because of it being able to reach a broader audience. And there is the thing I think is going to bridge the gap is there used to be a game that came out PS4. It was called The Crew, and it was basically the same thing. And it kind of fizzled out a little bit because of the way that it was implemented, but it was kind of the same thing. It was, these kind of all-world racing heists. It was kind of like if Fast and Furious was a game that wasn't named Fast and Furious. And it was pretty popular, and I remember a lot of people really hopping on early on. And I think Nintendo says, Nintendo's saying, let's bring the Mario element to it, and then give that same kind of open world. And then, of course, we know they're going to support it till Kingdom Come, because 8's still being supported, and 8's been around for literally a decade at this point. So I'm kind of like, I get that. I think that's pretty cool. Is it... I think the fact that it's already been done for the Nintendo group is going to be a downfall for them, but I think that their intent was to reach the broader group of people who have been playing on these other consoles, where you have Forza and where you have the Crew, where you have the ability to race real world locations. And I think that that's a good way to kind of mediate that appeal. And I think that's... So I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it. Now, I don't like... and I'll get to that in a minute in depth, but I don't like the $80 price tag. Unless they're wrapping everything DLC, like there's not going to be any DLC, there will be no DLC packs that come out after the fact, and all of the DLC is being rolled into the game, I cannot support $80 per game. If you're gonna, if you're rolling in all of the all DLC, all cars, all racers are going to be available. They're not all going to be available at launch, but when they come out, you get them for free. Okay, maybe. I don't like it, but I can at least, the business rationale isn't a hostile one. But yeah. My biggest issue with the Switch 2 is that they're charging for what is essentially a tutorial manual with some mini games. I don't care if it's even a fun. Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't like that at all. That should have been something included on the Switch. That should be something included. I mean, it doesn't need to be counted as a pack-in title necessarily, but it is a tutorial. It's cool that they've allowed for more racers, though. I think that's going to be really cool. Again, it's. I think they're trying to... So I guess I'll go through kind of my thoughts on it. I like the Nintendo Switch 2. I like the concept of it. Basically, they're doing exactly what... I would say they're doing 85% of what people have asked them to do from the Switch 1. And I want to remind people that the Switch OLED, which came out, was... not something that the Switch did. Like, that's something that people, before it was coming out, people were literally publicizing with bated breath that speculation. Oh, we want an OLED version. And the Switch 2 has basically taken all of the critique of the past 8 years and said, let's go ahead and implement that into this new Switch. Let's give it a faster processor, a more powerful graphics card, a larger screen, a more sturdy stand, faster transfer, more memory, higher frame rate, greater pixel density, and basically kind of let's cover all of the bases. Let's get new thumbsticks that don't. People were breaking the rail systems because the rail systems, if they get bent, will actually break the whole rail off of the side of the Switch, and it'll effectively ruin the console. They said let's do magnetic with USB-C type charging for fast charge. They put a USB-C port on the top so that if you're playing in portable mode, you can be playing while charging without having to awkwardly place the Switch. They did a lot of R&D, and they did listen to a lot of I mean, I'm not even going to say would consider. I am aware of people, including myself, who complained about these things, and I think they've done a great job of saying, let's address all, 50 of these things in the Switch 2, plus let's give a couple of quality of life improvements, is what I was trying to say. So I'm actually really happy about that. They have the mouse system. I saw that they were using it looked like ARMS 2. I don't know if I care about it for that, but if they are going to allow backwards compatibility for the healthy swath of point-and-click adventures that I have, like the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood or some of the Devolver Digital games, what's the other one? Red Lights Club, Valhalla, Coffee Talk, and then, of course, the older ones like Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle, the LucasArts games, right? Treasure of Monkey Island. I'm all game for the mouse. I like the idea of the point and click. The fact that Soul Calibur 2 will now be available on the new console hardware is insane to me also. Yeah, I'm a little sad they couldn't, and I know why they couldn't. It's going to be the Nintendo GameCube version of Soul Calibur 2 because it's GameCube backwards. I wish they could have gotten the licenses for, or gotten permission from Sony and from, is it Dark Horse? Or I don't know who does it, but anyway, to get the Spawn and Heihachi limited characters, but Link is awesome. Have you guys heard that the Switch 2 upgrade games are basically just Switch 1 cartridges in a case with a download code for the game itself? Which is what I figured. What I assume is going to happen is they're going to do kind of like PlayStation did with the PS4 and give you some free upgrades, and some upgrades are going to be like $10, $15, $20. So it's like, all right, whatever, I like and I'll get onto an issue I have with that also, the cartridges. The GameCube being on Switch Online is also really cool, although, like we saw with Mario 64, we'll have to see how well the games actually control. I think they'll control it, especially considering that they're making a GameCube controller for people that are doing that. And I'm going to make a wager that your GameCube USB controller for Wii U probably can be set up to work with it. So, in all honesty, what I will say is the only GameCube game that I know that is out there that they did quality of life improvement to the control was Super Mario All-Stars 3D, and they put Super Mario Sunshine out there, and Super Mario Sunshine does control, in my opinion, better on the Switch than it did on the GameCube, because they don't have the C-stick inverted in all cases. They uninverted it for, or at least it has the option, I believe. Either which way, it controls pretty well. Nintendo 64. Oh yeah, that's fair. And I think a lot of people had that issue because, again, the reversal of, like, for example, Banjo-Kazooie, which is on the Switch 60, which is on the 64, doesn't control as well because it has the reversed buttons. And so I would much prefer play it on the Xbox or on the original hardware. But I don't think they'll have that same issue with the GameCube. I think it's just going to be a direct map for most of it. Professor Layton will also be on it, which I'm super excited for. I've been a huge Professor Layton fan since the beginnings of Professor Layton, and it's actually going to have Professor Layton instead of some, his Luke or whomever else they want to put, his daughter, cousin, whatever. I'm not a big fan of the spin. I like his character, I still think they could have gone higher than 250 gigabytes, but it's a definite upgrade from the 30-something of this way. I think the reason that they did that is because, and I could be wrong on this, I think the reason that they do that is they're having to use very slim, they don't have any options really for 3.5 SSD. Because the form factor of the Switch 2 is so slim, they have to operate on 2.5 or perhaps even smaller SSD drives. And the fact of the matter is that SSD is already quite a lot more expensive than HDD. With Xbox and PlayStation, yes, they have a terabyte, but they're also using these much larger form factor SSDs, and they have HDD support. And it's one of those things where it's like, I think that's probably why it's the case. Plus, they're going to be using high-speed SD cards, which you can get. You don't have to get you don't have to get from Nintendo. Like SanDisk has made these forever, so you can literally just go get an SDHC micro, SD high transfer micro, and pop it in, and so long as the transfer speed is X amount megabit per second or greater, then it'll work. So I'm not ridiculously upset. I would like them to have at least done 320. It would have been great if they could do 500. But when you're looking at small form factor SSD, it does generally get to be quite a lot more expensive than HDD. Or even large form factor SSD. I'm sorry. GameCube version is definitely the best version, though I agree. Yeah. It's sad that the Switch 2's, the pre-orders are already on eBay for $800 more. They've already addressed, and I hope that it's true. They've already addressed that they're going to make sure that the demand is way out there. I mean, it's there to prevent scalping, and they're making it really difficult for scalping because I think they're putting stuff into like maximum orders and such. So I don't know how crazy it's going to be, but it looks like they've taken a lot of anti-scalping measures so far. I have to go back through the list, but they did put a comprehensive list of. The first was they were going to make more than enough consoles for everybody, is what they said. So they're making sure that there's not going to be any of that. And I think they're working with people to implement maximum orders. So it's literally going to be as inconvenient as possible for somebody to have to order 5 consoles, because they're going to have to go to 5 different stores to pick them up and pre-order them and all that other stuff. Haven't they already made a GameCube controller for the Switch? People play Smash with it. They made not for the Switch, I don't think. Maybe they have. I don't know. Maybe they have. I don't. If they have, I don't have it or have access to it. I know you can. For me, I'm using. They made a GameCube controller for the Switch that was. Oh, then maybe they have. I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have one for it. So, but if they're backwards compatible, I imagine the only thing that's not backwards compatible on the GameCube controller is the chat button, which is it's no big deal. It has reverse buttons. Can you not change them? You can't map them in the game, and it's. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Jump is A and roll is B, but A is where B is and B is where A is, kind of depending on the console you grew up with, I guess. Yeah, you can't change control. You can't change controls for anything. I wish they would. I wish they would put button mapping on it. I think that would be a really good feature, but I also understand that that's going to be kind of difficult. I don't necessarily know that it would, honestly. They could put it in the application, so... Hey, Thumb, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm interested in the Switch 2 for sure. Yeah, me too. I agree. Another thing that surprised me, I actually believe Metroid Prime 4 should be a huge main marketing game for Switch 2. It looks fantastic. I know Mario Kart is huge, though, and an insane seller. I think so, too. I think Metroid Prime 4 is huge, but I think it's huge for, like, the Nintendo fans, the Metroid fans. I think Mario Kart kind of is that bridge between gamers that have been on it for a while and then gamers that are just looking to come into it. So it's like, all right. So, I mean, I agree with you that I think Metroid Prime 4 should be a big deal, but I understand, I mean, just like you do, I understand the Mario Kart. I know they have because people use it for Smash. Yeah, but I was trying to think of if it was Nintendo that had made it or if PowerA made it, because PowerA made a lot of controllers for the Nintendo Switch. So... And third party, I mean, I will tell you, PowerA is not a bad company in terms of, well, at least nowadays they make some decent stuff. It's not up to the quality of Nintendo for sure. The closest I can find it, the closest third party controller that I have found that I actually like as much as, if not more than, a Nintendo Switch controller is the Zen Pro Max. I have 2 of them. I have a purple one and I have a black one, and I love that controller. Grippy. They're affordable, they're grippy, they're responsive. They work with like 4 or 5 different devices. I mean, it's just, they're really cool. So I couldn't think of if Nintendo had or if it was PowerA, but I do think it's fair to criticize the price of $450, but I think how many of those people would have complained if the system was $400? Yeah, well, Mario is a huge casual. So yeah, exactly. As I saw the price of the Switch 2 is comparable to the PS5. It is, but I don't have I really don't have a problem with the price. And let me explain exactly why. Nintendo is offering a majority of what you get on the Xbox Series X and PS5 in terms of experience, right? They're giving you that high frame rate. They're giving you 120 FPS. Provided you have a monitor that'll support it. They're giving you, 4K definition. They're giving you some really, really heavy-hitting titles. Not only their own, but also, again, From Software, Duskblood, which is at least a timed exclusive, if not fully exclusive. They're giving you, so all of that, and it's a handheld. and you can take it with you. That's a huge, I mean, to me, that's huge. It used to, you would buy the, $200 Wii and the $250 3DS, and you're still paying $450. So they've just kind of squished the form factors in, improved everything, and said, this is it. And I'm like, okay, I get that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Switch is also portable as well. Even the dock, yeah, exactly. And one of the things that I did with the Switch 1 is I went and I bought a whole bunch of docks. I think I have 2 or 3 Switches, but I bought like 6 docks and the hardware for it because the docks became really cheap. And I think I bought like 6 of them for like $30, right? So it's coming out to $5 a dock. And then I go to the people's houses that I spend the most time with, and I put a set of dock up there. And then when it's time to play, I just bring the Switch tablet and the thing, and I pop it on, and boom, now we've got. So there's a convenience factor there. $450 doesn't bother me. I don't think many have an issue with the price of the system. Seems to be the games themselves the most important part. I saw the problems where they were. I saw there were problems where they were streaming the Direct. There will be. I mean, they're not launching just yet. I think there are going to be some hiccups here and there. That's almost universal. My hope is that in the months that are coming, they have software patches that'll. I mean, even if it's a day one patch, I don't have a problem with day one patches. So long as there's not paywall, this and that and the other. I don't mind a day one patch. People haven't stopped saying drop the price. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the price is fine. I think it's a reasonable price. Like that, the wrong clips chat was frozen. Some other, yeah, and I'm sure that they're going to have. I mean, chat is not something that they've done a great job on. That's Xbox is really the innovator of that more than anyone, right? It was back with Xbox Live. PlayStation 2 was kind of a clunky or clumsy one, and now PS5 and Xbox both are very comparable and very competent in that market. I think Nintendo is just playing catch-up there, but I don't mind them playing catch-up in that thing that I care the least about, when I could literally call someone on the phone just as easily, set the phone next to me, or be on a Bluetooth headset. That's not a big deal. What Nintendo brings to the table is greater than that particular challenge. I'm okay with it. Stream itself froze and you could hear game announcements. Yeah, desync is. I mean, that's one of those things. I think the people are spamming drop the price. Yeah, and so I do want to be. So let me. I've gushed about a bunch of the good. Like, I like the Switch 2. I'm very interested in it. I do want one, or I might buy 2. I'm not going to scalp, obviously, but I might buy 2 of them. Pretty close to launch, just to one that I will probably play, and then one that my daughter can play that I'm not knocking her off of constantly. But there are a couple of things that I am upset about, and again, first thing, I do think not having OLED is a missed opportunity. I agree. I wonder if part of my question is, I wonder if part of that is a strategic move to. Well, I think part of it is a strategic move to launch it later. But I also think, if I were looking at it from an R&D perspective, and I think they will too. But I want to say, I think that could be okay. I don't care about the OLED. I wonder if there's some testing to the battery, because they're going to all of these new features are going to have a greater battery draw. Part of me is wondering if that could be a complication, because OLED does draw a substantial amount more. You're also taking a look at different screens, obviously, because we're talking about deeper pixel density, and they're also talking about deeper pixel density on a handheld console that has a higher cap than their previous one does. So I can say that they probably will launch it, and that's probably a part of the strategy, but at the same time, there is a science behind that. Again, as somebody who's worked in that gaming industry and has seen firsthand the R&D that goes into that, it's like, I know it's going to be a part of the business strategy, but I also understand why it isn't immediately launched for the R&D purposes. Unless they wanted to take another year. I think they could take another year and launch the OLED, but I don't think they want to, considering they've already stretched the console generation life gap by 1 year itself. They made another Discord saying they have separate microphone and webcam, like they were making the Wii speak again. I saw the camera for it too. It's a little piranha plant, and it's kind of adorable. I don't care about the camera personally, but I think it's an adorable little thing to have. It's 100% a strategic move. It could be. Are you guys all in the USA? I know Retroids. There have been discussions surrounding the tariffs and how it will potentially affect the price. Yeah, and that's definitely something we're having trouble with. I don't want to speak remarkably politically, but we're tariffing everybody else is the beginnings of attempting to create autocracy. And we're a great country, sure, but I don't think any country currently has the strength to be autocratic, and there are weaknesses to being autocratic, like not dealing with our worldwide partners in business and creating relationships in the way that would be good, organic, and healthy worldwide. So I haven't heard anything about that. Yeah, no, it's I would say the tariff thing is going to affect a good majority of our imports. I mean, we have to consider that the manufacturing is still in Japan, so unless Nintendo of America has some sort of backdoor in terms of getting those in or not bolstering the price, it's going to be tricky. I think backwards compatibility is a big plus. Also, making the Nintendo Online with the backlog of NES, SNES be transferred over to the Switch 2 is a big improvement as well. Exactly. They delayed pre-orders in the USA because of it. Yep. Yeah, we've got some of the issues with the tariffs here, and the tariffs are causing more than just gaming issues, obviously. I mean, we're still trying to figure things out, but there was an implementation of a baseline tariff for all territories, and then the territories basically have different tariff rates depending on where they are, and I don't know what the stratagem behind it is, but I know it's the beginnings of creating autocracy, and I know that we don't usually. I don't think that we have the strength to be an autocratic nation just yet, and I don't think we should aspire to do that anyway. I think we should aspire to be work in tandem with our worldwide partners, like we always have. Maybe a little bit more amiably, but yeah. So I've been gushing over the Switch. Let me talk about a few things that I have critique on. I want to talk firstly about something I had a critique on, or that people have critique on, that I do not actually care that much about, because whether it is or isn't a strategic move, I think is heftily in debate, which is the old memory cards not working with the new systems. It could be a stratagem, but they did release the specs, and so if you don't have to look at this. I mean, you can obviously if you want to, but you don't have to look at the directs. You can actually just go and read the specs and what they're attempting to accomplish. They have to publish all of this stuff. Patents are published, etc. They've looked at raising the transfer rate for external memory so that you might be able to play games with higher frame rate and greater pixel density, as well as just greater memory in general, because of things like Duskblood being fairly just big games, very artistically inclined games. They've put that out there, and so the idea behind it is that they're wanting to move you to SDHC or micro SDX, which is an SD format which has a higher capacity, so you lose less to partition, and it's also a faster transfer speed. It's not just your standard 2 or 4 megabit per second. You're talking about, it's like 41 megabit per. They're kind of weird. I honestly just don't believe anything from them isn't a strategic move, whether that's right or wrong. Well, I can tell you right now, maybe it is a strategic move, maybe everything has a strategy behind it, but I can tell you right now, using the old ones, if they made the machine, if another company made the machine, and if CD Projekt Red made the machine, a company that has shown themselves to be less greedy than more, right, rather than more, I can tell you that putting a non-SDHC, non-high capacity or non-high transfer speed into a computer, it won't work. A good example of this would be Elgato. For example, Elgato has the 4KX capture card. It's not a greedy thing. They don't sell them, but if you don't have a USB-C 3.0 port, it just doesn't work. The transfer rate isn't fast enough to get the data from the device, or from the computer to the device, and vice versa. You have to have a 3.0 or greater. In their case, they actually provide 3.2 10 gigabit per second speed. So it's like, I'm going to go, sorry, have a great stream. Yeah, you too. Thank you so much for popping and saying hi. I'll try and get one for DK, Mario Kart, Metroid, and SC2. I have a bunch of catch-up from this week. Oh, yeah, that's fair, too. And backwards compatible, right? So not bad. But yeah, if you plug, like, for example, if you go and you plug a USB 2.0 into a 3.0 for an application that is expressly 3.0, because the transfer speed of a 3.0 is a minimum of 5 gigabits per second, your 2.0 cable just doesn't work. It just cannot keep up with that speed, because they cap out at like 480 megabit per second. So that's not a strategic move. That's just the science of the time. again, I'm not saying Nintendo it doesn't have a strategy behind it, but I am saying that's just technology. That's just how, I mean, that works with every company that way. And we need that kind of stuff. It's the same reason Xbox or PlayStation doesn't allow you to play. If you have a hard disk drive hooked up to it, you can't play games from the hard disk drive. You can play them from a solid state, but you can't play them from a hard disk drive because the solid state technology has a higher rate of transfer and it's solid states. So you can do that, but if you have a hard disk drive in there, you can't play it. The transfer's not fast enough to keep up. So it's just a growing pain of technology. It's what happens. I wish DK was showcased better, though, especially on the live streams. Whoever was demonstrating it made it seem so random and just... Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely do. So now I'm gonna get to what I actually do have an issue with. Number one, the price of the games. I do not like... I know that they say select games. I know that. I do not like the games being $80 and $90, if that is indeed true. I know some of them have shown to be $80 digitally for sure. I don't like the idea of them being 80 and 90, though, 90 for physical. That disincentivizes people, and I think there should be a discount from physical. I've said that for a long time. There should be a discount from buying a physical to buying a digital because the manufacturing costs aren't there, and in all honesty, if you don't have a physical copy, depending on the system, you don't own the game. Switch 1, the games are actually on the cartridge. Switch 2 games are not on the cartridge. They are key cards in the same way that discs on the PlayStation 5 and discs on the Xbox Series X unlock the digital product. I am very against this. Get ready for $100 GTA. We already knew GTA. The what's his name from Take-Two already said he was going to launch GTA 6 for $100. I'm not buying it. I won't touch it. I don't like GTA enough anyway. I barely like GTA enough to buy it for. Like when I bought GTA 4 with Ballad of Gay Tony and whatever the other one was. I think I got it from like when it was in the bin finally for like $20. So. Yeah, and I'm not going to buy the early access version at $100. There's no way I'm not touching that. So I don't care that much. That's the thing. He said that he feels like that Strauss Zelnick or whatever his name is, says he thinks the value proposition is there because people have enjoyed GTA 5 for as long as they have. Yes, they've enjoyed GTA 5 for 12 years in the same way that people have enjoyed Skyrim for almost 15 years because you won't bleeding release something else. They've had to make do. And that's really frustrating. So I don't like that. I don't like Nintendo having said, $80, whatever. There is one caveat, and this is the only way that I think it was even halfway acceptable, and I'm going to put emphasis on halfway, because I do not like it no matter what. But again, I've said this before, if they roll in all DLC, everything future, all racers, all tracks, every piece future is free. You bought the $80 deal, so everything that comes out, and there will be stuff coming out for at least a year or two, is free. I get it. They've rolled the DLC in. They've rolled the season pass into the game. I don't like that because for people that can't afford that, that's going to be difficult. For people who don't care about the season pass, that's going to force them to purchase a season pass. So I still don't like it, but I can at least say that's a business that makes sense to me. But then that brings me to the games on cartridge, which are key cards now. I am very anti that. I do not like that at all. It's why I am very pro GOG and Larian Studios, right? Very pro CD Projekt Red's GOG.com and Larian. There isn't DRM. If you bought Baldur's Gate from Larian, you got a 4-disc thing that was good through patch 5. All of that content is on those 4 discs. Now, do people think 4 discs is unwieldy these days? Sure, but they put it there as an act of, we don't care, you can own your own game. And so it's why I'm very pro CDPR and Larian, and very anti almost everybody else in that regard. And I don't like that Nintendo has jumped on that wagon either by saying we're not going to put the game on there, it's just going to be a key card. It does not need to be a key card, it needs to be the full bleeding game. Or you need to make sure that in the DRM it's said that if we own that key card, we have that game, that's our game. And it won't be. It'll be the same thing that Xbox and PlayStation are doing, with only some games being on the disc because the company decided to, and the rest of them being digital download. It's all subjective depending on what you enjoy. Shovel Knight is worth more than its price to me personally than some games at $70. I agree with that. And I get, again, I understand that there are going to be what the world calls what businesses call inflationary pressure, right? When dollar bills and GBP and USD, GBP, all the different monies kind of become worth less because of the way that we're printing and whatever the case is, right? And GBP is stronger than USD right now, of course. And so it's like, I understand that there's going to be some inflationary pressure, that you're going to have to raise some of the prices. I don't mind. I don't like 70, but I understand it. It's been 60 for a long time. A $10 raise after 15 years, 10 to 15 years seems reasonable. But that $70 price hike wasn't but a few years ago. And now here we are, again, we're jumping up by another $10 increment. That's not reasonable. The amount of inflationary pressure have not jumped that drastically. I agree, and I agree with you too. I mean, like $70. Again, I'll pay $70 for, Dusk Bloods. I'm not going to pay $80 for Mario Kart. $60, $70 for Donkey Kong. That's whatever. I'll do that, but $90 for a physical. No, I'm not going to do it. That doesn't come with anything extra. You don't even get the game. It's just a physical hunk of plastic that doesn't do it, that unlocks the. No, I'm not going to pay $90 for that. And maybe that's the intent. Maybe the intent is to disincentivize you from buying that so that they can back off of manufacturing costs. But then if that's the case, then the games don't need to be 70 anymore. You can jump back down to 60 because the manufacturing costs are going away. It's funny to me how Mario Kart is also more than DK. How are they justifying it? Are they both not two huge AAA exclusives? Again, I think that there's going to be. I think what they're going to do. I think they're kind of rolling a season pass because I don't think DK is going to have a season pass. I think Mario Kart will or would, and I think they're trying to kind of roll that season pass and throw that down people's throats with Mario Kart. And I don't think it's a good practice, but I think that's what they're doing. Put it this way, I didn't expect Nintendo to be the company that kickstarts the next price. I didn't either. I expected Take-Two to do it. I expected the GTA 6 announcement to be the one that announced the price hike, and I expected the price hike to be $100 because that's what Zelnick said. But yeah, I don't. So there are things I don't like about that, and this is where I'm going to be. Again, this is where I'm going to kind of get on my soapbox for just a second and say, buy the games that you can own, the games that have been put on a cartridge or on a disc that are all there, buy them that way. I know it's not as convenient as digital, but go get them. Order them on eBay. I don't care. Order physical copies that you can own. Right now, if somebody didn't like something that I said, even if it was inoffensive, I can go put Super Mario Brothers in my NES and I can play it. Imagine if GTA 6 releases at 60. If it does, I'll be really impressed with Take-Two's direction. Even though I'm not willing to give them the benefit of the doubt in most instances, I will be super impressed if that's what happens. I don't think it will be, but I agree with you. Impossible. The other thing that I'm going to say, and I've said this before, I know a lot of people have kind of coined the phrase, and I'm going to extrapolate just a second. I'm going to give it a little. I know a lot of people have coined the phrase, if purchases and ownership, then if purchases and ownership, then piracy isn't theft. I agree with that. Let me go a step further. If business practices can become client or customer hostile, consumer practices can become business hostile. I'm okay with that. Apparently, and I don't know if it's confirmed, both Mario Kart and DC are there physical on the cartridge in the case. Right, but I don't know if the whole of the game is going to be on the cartridge. A lot of them were saying that the cartridges were now key cards. So basically, you put the cartridge in and you still have to download the game off of the internet. It's just a card saying you own that or you purchased that license. If it's actually there, if you're saying it's there physical, like the whole of the game is on the cartridge, thumbs up. That's exactly what I want. And there's no reason. Cartridges can hold more of these SD cards. These cartridges can hold more memory than the discs. There's no reason that these games cannot be put entirely on the cartridge. Again, Baldur's Gate being an exception. Right, Baldur's Gate would probably take up like 2 cartridges, but it's not, I can't. No, me neither. And that's what I'm saying. So that's my thing. Is if business practices are allowed to become consumer hostile, I urge that your consumer practices become business hostile. I don't care about, and this is going to be the one thing I'm not inspiring anybody to go break the law. But I am going to tell you, I don't care about the law if the law isn't here to protect me. If the law is there to protect multi-million and multi-billion-dollar companies when they take money from me. Or that they can coerce me effectively to take money. Say, oh, well, you don't have to participate. Well, I don't have to participate, but it's a form of escapism, and it's something I enjoy doing, so to hold that over my head is not really okay. So my thing is, if your multi-billion-dollar company can do practices that are client hostile, I, as a client, should be able to implement practices that are business hostile. I will, for example, I will tell you right now, if it's a key card on the game, I'll find ROMs. I don't care. I'll buy the game legitimately, obviously. I'll buy the console legitimately, obviously. But if your cards don't have games, I'll find ROMs. I'll find ROMs and rips, and I will download those as backup, because you're not going to tell me when I get to play the game that I paid you almost $100 for. I will play that when I please. I'm telling you, man, every day that goes by, I look back at rebuying all the... I think that's one of the things I really want to encourage people to do. Go back and buy... I think that's a great idea. Go back and buy the retro stuff, like the stuff you really enjoyed. Like don't buy retro stuff that I like, right? Got retro, but like I've got thousands of cartridges here. Like I've got cartridges from the 1970s. I'm looking at my childhood copy of Pitfall for the Atari 2600. I'm looking at that cartridge right now, and I know right now, and I'm looking at my Intellivision with the. I have my old Atari 2600, but I'm looking at my Intellivision 2 with the Atari 2600 plug-in, right? Because you could do that. And if I want to, all I have to do is hook my Intellivision 2 in, and I can play Pitfall on that cartridge. I have the game. The whole thing's right there. I'm looking at my shelf right now, one of my shelves of cartridges. Any of those cartridges, I can pop into my Super Nintendo or my Nintendo, and if Nintendo doesn't like something about what I've said, they can't do anything. They can sit there and scream in their offices, because I'm going to play whatever those cartridges are. I'm not okay with the Ubisoft mentality of basically we will own nothing and like it. No, I will do what I need to do to make sure that I have ownership of the game. And if you're saying it's a license, then I'm going to be pro-California here. California says there's a law now where if you purchase something that is a license, you can't say you own it. You can't say buy to own. You have to disclaim you don't own this. And I want those kinds of practices to be coming out where it's like you have to be transparent or you have to let them own it. I really, really don't like it. It bothers me. What I don't like about their online service, so Soul Calibur will be available on the GameCube service, but I can't just buy it. Why not? I can buy Sly Cooper on the PSN, even though Sly is on PS Plus. Yeah. Well, I agree with that. I think this is what I do. I agree with that wholeheartedly. There's no good reason. I mean, I'm not going to make an excuse for him. I think that's true. What I will tell you that I do, and Nintendo's not going to like this about me either, but I don't really care. Same thing with the Wii. I talk about the Wii U all the time, and now the Switch is going to be the next one that I'm going to do this to, and maybe I'll like it as much as I do the Wii U. But once a system's life is done, and the support's gone or whatever, I start opening that thing up, not literally, not physically, but I start opening up the code of that thing and turning that thing into what I wish it was. And so like with the Wii U, I have Super Nintendo controllers and original Nintendo controllers, Sega Genesis controllers that all plug into the Wii U. And then what I do is I take all of the ROMs of the physical copy. So I own the physical copy. I rip all of the cartridges that I have. I have a running ROM folder, and I pop those on the Wii, and I use the native emulator that Nintendo developed to play my ROMs so that I can protect my cartridges. I have my cartridges, but I'm playing them off of the ROM so I can protect my cartridges, because Earthbound is expensive. Let's just put it, I have an Earthbound cartridge. If I strip that one and I have to replace the board or something, one of the pins goes or whatever, that's expensive. So now I can play my ROM on there. I can play my ROM on there in full HD with a Super Nintendo controller, feeling like a Super Nintendo, and so it's one. And so the same thing will happen with the Switch 1. The Switch 1's probably capable of the Switch, the GameCube. So I'll probably put Nintendo on it, open up their native, GameCube whatever, and start ripping my GameCube games into ROMs, and then start playing those on the Switch 1. So that's what I do. I'm going to turn your console, I'm going to enjoy your console during the lifespan, and then I'm going to turn your console into what I wanted it to be at the very beginning without you having to, after you've already let go of good practice. And I'm not saying everybody should do that. If it's against the law, it's this and that. Maybe it is, but at the same time, again, I'm perfectly okay with consumer practices becoming business hostile if we're going to permit business practices to be consumer hostile. I don't think that should be. I don't think that's an unreasonable thing. And I know the law is going to be like, well, I don't like it. And I'm going to say, well, I don't care. You clearly don't care about me. So why in the world should I care about you? I just want an N64 again at the minute. I just need to find the best options to use one of the... I just need to find the best options to use one on the current day TV with the least latency possible. Honestly, they all had AV cables. I mean, I think most new TVs still at least have one AV port on them. Yeah, I think so. And I don't know what I know that in the older days, that the PAL region was 50 hertz, where ours was 60 hertz. Ours were 60 hertz over here. I don't know if that extends to the current day, and I don't know if that extends. I doubt it does. And I don't know if it extended to that console, but I think most of them do have. I mean, I think most modern day televisions have AV ports with fairly low latency. Now, obviously, if you wanted it to look the best, you could get like a RetroTink, or you could buy a set of yeah, there you go. Yeah, I keep hearing about RetroTink. RetroTink's good, but RetroTink you have to use component. So you would have to buy the RetroTink, and you'd have to buy a set of component cables, probably from Hyperkin. I think they make it. I think they make a. I think they make a really nice set of cables for it. You could also buy, you can honestly also buy just a fairly run-of-the-mill upscaler, because it's not going to introduce a ton of latency, honestly. Most of the powered ones, most of your powered upscalers, ones that have to be plugged into a USB or to an outlet, are probably going to do just fine. You might lose a frame, but I don't think most people that aren't playing competitively will notice about a frame's loss. But the N64 is a great example of a console that I think I would collect. What has the least latency? Well, the least latency is going to be just going straight into the component, or straight into the composite, right? So you have you could just buy an old television. Well, your new television. Does your new television not have any? Do you have like one of the Samsung curved ones that have the little box on the side, or? Because a lot of I have the flat monitors that I have in here are newer televisions, and they all have the composites on the side. They don't have many of them, but they have one composite, so I could plug in a composite if I wanted to. Now I've got mine running through a complex series of upscalers with things that are meant to reduce latency and this and that and the other. But yeah, I would say just going straight into the television's composite. If your television has composite, perfectly fine. It'll have no latency. Should have no latency. If you don't, just any... honestly, I would say RetroTink's fantastic. And I would say that it's probably the best. Okay. Yeah, if it doesn't have them, then RetroTink's awesome, but they're expensive, right? They're great. They're really great. They upscale, they make things brighter. There isn't any latency, or at least there's not any metricable latency. But if you're looking to not spend $150 or $80 or whatever the RetroTink model you have to get is, honestly, I would think that just a powered upscaler will do just fine. A powered upscaler, generally, if it's not powered, you're likely going to have latency, but if you get a powered one, I think they're like $20, $30 at most. You can plug it into power, run it from composite to HDMI, and then literally just go straight into your HDMI right there. And I think the frame loss is like one frame. It's nothing that you would, If you're just getting the RetroTink box, and it's going to be component to HD or composite to component, then yes. If you're looking at getting the cable systems, then no. You have to get a series of cables per each one. Because remember, they all had proprietary. The other ends are proprietary. But yeah, like on mine, that's one of the things that I like on mine is I have, it took me forever to get this all hooked up the way that I do. And it's not perfect. I mean, a lot of people are playing on Dolphin nowadays to kind of do a lot of people are doing their streams using Dolphin, which is fine, but it just doesn't feel as good as using the actual hardware. The other thing is, if you're starting with a Nintendo 64 for collecting, that's an easy one to collect for because there were like just under 300 licensed games, and a good portion of them are like Maddens and shovelwares. So it's and they're not really expensive. Most of the games aren't. I mean, you get some that are expensive. Like I think Banjo-Kazooie is like $25 right now, $30 maybe. That's not unreasonable. Banjo-Tooie is about the same. I think it's really going to be like the ones that are going to be expensive are like. Castlevania Legacy of Darkness is probably going to run you about $150. Yeah, what else? Turok 3 will probably run you about $80. What is it? The other one? There's another big Atlas game. I think it was Ogre Tactics Battle. I think it'll probably run you like $80. It's been so long since I have an old system. The oldest I have at the moment is PS3. And that's fine, but I miss PS1 and N64 especially. Well, with your PS3, you can play the PS1 games, so you already have that covered. So long as you have so long as you start collecting the PS1 games, right? The big backwards compatible beasts played PS2 also, but I believe all models played PS1. So, I mean, that'll be nice to have covered there since you have the PS3 now. As far as the 64 goes, yeah, obviously that's going to be a different beast just because, but I would definitely want the Castlevanias and the Clay Fighters. Depending on which Clay Fighter you get, there are some that are not really expensive. The Sculptor's Cut or whatever, I think that one's pretty pricey. That's a few $100s, I think. Castlevania, the regular Castlevania is not bad. I think it's like $30 or $40, but the Legacy of Darkness one, which was really hard to come by, I think it's $130 or $140, something like that. Yeah, I mean, that's my thing, is right now is the time to show Nintendo, Ubisoft, whomever else, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen because it probably won't. We've gotten comfortable with things being convenient, but like, let us start demanding that we own our games. And let we, I'm not saying they can't retain some control. Like, for example, if I'm playing online and there's 7-year-olds on they're not going to take a look at your age and start putting you in the thing, right? You don't know. You're playing online and you're saying awful, terrible things about doing, murderous things or whatever to like a 7-year-old. They're like, okay, we're going to kick you for that. Okay, you can't play online because you've just been an awful human being, right? Okay, fine, I get you. That's fine. I can't have online privileges anymore, but I can still play the single player anytime I want without issue. And that should be how it is. But they don't want that. They want to own the game and shut you down whenever they want to. And a lot of people are, well, they're not shutting us down yet. Well, yeah, but they can. I don't care if it's a yet thing or if it's an I'm being paranoid thing. It's if I buy it, I own it. Period. That's what we do. If I buy it, I own it, right? How would you feel if a business was to acquire another business and go, well, yeah, you have this business and you've accrued the risk and you've spent the money, but the previous business owner can at any point in time choose to revoke your ownership. They don't have to give you the money back, and they also can just re-own the company. It's like, okay, well, that's a stupid business deal. Why would I make that deal? Well, as consumers, we're making that deal every single time that we're buying DRM heavy, the stuff that has DRM in it. And that's, again, GOG, Larian, and buying your physical copies of retro stuff prior to the DRM strikes, where the game is actually on the disc, which I believe stopped around I believe it started having issues around Generation 7. So that's where I think DRM kind of started getting heavy. I think if DK wasn't a month after, I probably wouldn't want the Switch 2 at launch, and that's probably fair too, right? I don't think anybody who says, that was the other thing, is I don't think anybody who says I don't want the Switch 2 is making a bad choice either. There was a lot of conversation about, I wish they would be more innovative, I wish they would do this, and it's like, I think as far as a console launch goes, they've done a good job. I think they've looked at the problems that we've had, and they've agreed that they were problems, and they've addressed them. But when it comes to owning games, when it comes to us owning our games, when it comes to games not costing $80, $90 per game, those things need to change. We need to keep the price of the game inside of the bracket. We need to put the games on the cartridges so people can own them physically. And if you really want to incentivize digital production, don't make they're wanting to incentivize it. Don't make the physical one way too expensive. Make the other one less expensive. People, if you get a digital game for $30 and a physical one for $70, do you think people aren't going to go to the digital game? Right? They're like, oh, we won't make as many profits. Well, it doesn't matter that you're not making as many profits. You are making profit. It's greed. The fan in the dock is cool. I agree. I think again, they put a lot of, I think they put a lot of TLC into the Switch 2. I think they did. I think the R&D on it is great. Does it include everything? Don't know. The OLED screen doesn't include, but as many things as they have corrected and fixed and put into it, I'm not unhappy. It's just the little nickel and diming you that I'm not happy about. But better Joy-Cons, better screen, faster frame rate, more memory, faster memory, less fragile stand, less potential to drift on the Joy-Cons, bigger shoulder buttons for the Joy-Cons for more comfort whenever playing a game that requires it, like Mario Kart, which uses that to drift. All of that is, that's evident that Nintendo does. I think that's evidence that Nintendo does listen to their consumer. I think that is evidence that Nintendo does want to do right enough by their consumer, even if it's a marketing ploy or whatever. It doesn't matter. They didn't have to do all of that. They could have. They can still leave drift in the sticks. Honestly, they could still use the rail system where people were having to buy new ones because the rail systems were breaking. They did actually engineer this to be more hardy instead of leaving it like it was, which they could have done, and they would have made money because the systems would have sold. Because every time one breaks, it'd be like, oh, well, I can't fix it. Well, do you notice how the three guys on the showcase were wearing blue, orange, and gray, the colors of the system? Saw someone mention it, which is pretty, that's kind of, there's going to be some of that. I don't know if that's just cool and clever coordination. One of the things I will say that I love about Nintendo that they've done really well is their tree houses and their system showcases and such. I like the fact that they still have, there's still kind of I know there's not innocence to it in the business practice, right? But to the presentation, they do a good job of keeping that kind of innocent, like, colorful, impactful, charm. There's a charm to the way that they present themselves. Xbox and Sony had Microsoft and Sony both had kind of gotten off on being like, oh, blood, gore, guts, da 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 da. And of course, Nintendo tried that too with the John Romero stuff in Daikatana back in like the Iron Storm days, which was back in the late 90s. But put this shirt, it could be. But I think I've gotten to go. I've been at Nintendo showcases again. I worked in the gaming industry a long time ago now. But and again, it may not be this. I was still around. I was in the gaming industry when Satoru Iwata was still around, and for Nintendo. And I've been to firsthand to some of the Nintendo showcases, and I can tell you that hands down they were some of my absolute favorites, just because of the passion that they brought to just kind of keeping it innocent and game and frivolous and game-like and frivolous. I think that was good. Like, I would go to a Microsoft showcase and it would be like they would have this huge thing of like Master Chief whatever for whatever the game was at the time, whatever the Halo game was at the time. But anyway, it would be like Halo 3's coming out, Halo 2's coming out, whatever, and they have the huge Halo thing, and they got a guy coming out dressed as Master Chief, and it's like, okay, that's kind of cool, but it's very niche. And then you would go to the Nintendo one, and Reggie Fils-Aimé would like pop out of a pipe or something funny like that, you know, or they would bring in Miyamoto, and you know, Miyamoto's just kind of there with his T-shirt and holding up these, you know, these things. He's just, you can see he's so happy about the game aspect of it. And I don't think he has a lot of the control over like the pricing and all that, but I think he likes the games part of it. And so it's like, there was something really charming about that. My biggest issue with Sony right now is they've completely abandoned any personality. They're too focused on attempting to be pristine, high-quality company, even though it's subjective. Well, I can tell you right now, they're not. I'll tell you that for darn sure. And I'll tell you, I had to adjust my seating, but I'll tell you why. I've been playing PlayStation 5 these past couple of days. You know, we've been snowed in, and we were snowed in yesterday, and it's like, all right. So I'm playing PS5, and I'm like, I'm playing Silent Hill, and wanted to go ahead and play Mortal Kombat 1, and I bought Mortal Kombat 1 on disc for $5. The complete Chaos Whatever Reigns character pack with all the extra story was on sale for $19. So I'm going to go and buy this, and I'm going to have paid $24 for all of Mortal Kombat content. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because, you know, I've been hearing it's not great, and it's, you know, so I'm like, all right, well, I get the versus mode. One of the very first things that, you know, my wife and I did when we were dating was play Mortal Kombat with each other, so it would be fun to do that again in the newer way to go. And MK1, yeah, it didn't bother me again because I bought it for $5. I bought the physical copy for $5, and then I was like, I want these other characters. I don't care about the story. I just like, all right, I want to play. There's Omni-Man, which is fine. He's kind of cool. The one I was super excited about was Conan the Barbarian and the T-1000 from T2, which I love, Robert Patrick. And I think they actually got Robert Patrick to come back and do the voice. And then there was Peacemaker, I think, John Cena. And so there's a lot of these different characters. Anyways, point is. And I thought that was cool. So I was like, all right, $24 for all of the Mortal Kombat 1 content. That's the game, the base, that's the whole thing. Like, it's the base game plus all of the characters plus the Chaos Reigns story DLC. I was like, all right, yeah, that's fair. That's fine. And the intent was I was going to play with my wife. And I get signed out of my account for some reason. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to log back in. Well, I log back in, or I try to log back in, and it's like, we're going to send you a code. We want to verify your identity. Well, the email address is 20 years old. So I haven't had access to that email address in not even 20 years old. It's longer than that. It's like 25 years old. So 25 years old. So I'm like, okay, I don't have access to this email address anymore. It's 25 years old, but when I say 20 years old, that's when about the PS3 was coming out. That's when I was using that. I still was using that address. Well, that address hasn't been in use since the beginnings of the PS3. You know, I kind of signed up, did my thing, and then I was done. And I was like, and then I dropped it, and I've been using, Hotmail or Gmail ever since, right? And they're like, all right, we'll send you the code. Well, I can't get the code, so I'm like, all right, well, let me call someone. And I go to the chat bot, and the chat bot's like, hey, what's going on? And I'm like, I need access to my account. I can't get in to this email address anymore. I need you to, you can validate me some other way. And they were like, oh, yeah, we can't do that. And so I try to log back into the chat bot, and it's like, the chat bot wasn't much help to you, so maybe you try later. I'm like, well, the chat bot wasn't much help to me, but maybe it could be if So I was like, all right, well, I'll call. I call, and they're like, we're closed. When I look at their hours, and it says they're open 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. my time on this day. I'm like, okay. Then I get to the chat bot again, and it's like, oh, hey, we'll put you in a call queue. You're 151 in line, number 151. We'll send you a couple of text messages here every once in a while to let you know your position in the line is progressing. We might ask to make sure you're still there. We might ask you to say, hey, you're still there every once in a while. It's like, all right, cool. 151, that's a long line, but whatever. And so sure enough, it's like, all right, cool. And it leaves me waiting. And it just hangs up. It's like, chat did it because of non-response. Okay. What the heck, guys? Like, I just made purchases on this account. I got logged off because of me. I guess it was because I changed my router or whatever. I don't know. And then every way that I try to get in contact with you, you won't help me. Like, I know the username and the password. It's not, I just don't have access to the email address. So I can't get the backup code. And you're not giving me any other way to validate myself. But like, I used a PayPal account that I have access to also, that I could get, I used that. And it was like, no, we're not going to help you. Okay, well, fine. Now I can't play I can't go back in and download some of my games. The Mortal Kombat DLC that I just bought, I can't access because I was logged out of my account. I can't download the stuff. And it's like, oh, you still need to purchase this. I have the receipt that I've purchased it and my PayPal account and the backup email address, but you won't let me log back in. So when I go back to log in now, it's like, oh, you've made too many requests. I'm like, but this is the correct username password, and it's telling me it is. It's just asking me to validate this 6-digit code or whatever from my email that I don't have access to. I don't need that. I just need the username and password. And it's like, nah. Okay. So, Sony, if you want to be a pristine VIP company, start treating people like they are VIP, right? If your business if you want to be closed on Sunday, that's perfectly okay. I get that. That's fine. Say you're closed on Sunday. Don't say you're open for 11 hours. Tell me you're closed, and I'll be like, all right, I'll bug you on Monday. But when you tell me your hours are open, and then you ignore me, or you put me on hold, or you're not a pristine company. You can't. The way you prove you're a pristine company isn't by making good products. It's by making good relationships with people and getting good products to them. And if you have to skip that bit in between about the whole, being good to the consumer piece, you're not premium. I can't stand all of that. It's like they try and put you off using your products. You would think they would immediately fix. Well, that would be my thing. That's my point, is if you believe that your good products make you so good that your relationships can be poor, then you're not a good company. Now, again, maybe I'm just having a unique experience. Maybe it'll all mull over in a day. Maybe they'll let me, they'll help me on Monday and it'll be fine. But the fact of the matter is that I should be able to play the game that I just purchased, that I just validated that I purchased, that I have a receipt for. And I've been trying to set up a backup email address for that for years, and I've just never been able to, so I've always skipped it, because it was like, oh, can you give you a backup email? Yeah, I've got this new email address now. No, they're not going to do that. Okay. I started having issues back with the PS Vita, so that tells you how long ago that was. Hey, what about our incredibly detailed character models and alloys chain? Yeah, I don't care. That's exactly right, though. It shouldn't be that difficult to fix a simple issue, though. Yeah, and apparently that they give out bans like candy, too. So it's like, all right, you call and then you're somewhat suspicious, then they ban your IP or whatever. It's like, what are you doing? That's the thing. They should be able to fix it within seconds. I could literally, I'll sit there and go, hey, here is the address, here's the email address, here's the login information, here's the username, here's the password, here's the past 10 purchases I've made and when. Here's the accounts and cards that I've used on them. What other validation do you need, right? I mean, at this point, this is more valid. I've given you more validation than a therapist gives to their patient. Like, at this point, I just need you to, maybe do that, or help me set up a backup, my new email address. Because I had to create a second account, but my second account doesn't have all of my purchases on it. And it's like, I don't want to switch over and then lose all of my purchases. Because these are purchases that have been over the past 15 plus years, almost 20, again, going back to the PS3. So these are purchases that have gone back almost 20 years. If I lose that login, I lose all of those purchases, 20 years worth of purchases that I've made that have to have a digital something on them, right? That have a digital, and of course PS5 has to have that too. I have the Mortal Kombat 1 disc, but I just purchased extra content for it. Well, that extra content doesn't exist on this other account that I own, so I have to buy it again. I'm not going to buy it again. I mean, honestly, if you can't help me fix my problem, I'm just going to give up on PlayStation and go completely Nintendo, completely Switch. I don't want to do that, but my goodness. And I'm not putting anything, by the way, to any individual who might get my call in the future. I'm not putting it towards you and your call center specifically. I think it's probably a procedural issue that comes from the top down. So I'm sure that I'll get to speak with somebody eventually, and I'm sure they're going to be wonderful, and they're probably going to be able to help me. But it's not them I'm complaining about. It's the systemic issue of let's disincentivize customer relationships. Because we, again, like you said, have these wonderful detailed character models with Alloy having, chin fuzz or whatever. So, yeah. The other thing, I have Dragon Age Veilguard, which was a huge, people thought this game was just absolutely terrible. And I got it for virtually nothing. And so I was like, all right, well, this is an opportunity. I love Dragon Age. This is an opportunity for me to actually check it out like I did Outlaws and give an honest opinion on it. And it's like, well, now I may not be able to do that because I need to be able to download stuff from online. I have the disc, but I need to be able to download stuff online, and it may not be able to do that. So I can't tell you. But anyway, game companies frustrate me. Buy from my again, recommendation, I'll say it, this stream. Buy your cartridges, buy physical media, buy from DRM free websites if you can, like GOG. Buy from companies that are anti-DRM like Larian, and again, like CDPR, companies that are actually putting their stuff on the disc, companies that are actually opening platforms up where you can buy. I'll give you an example of this too, and this is the reason. So, Nintendo Switch, I bought this game. Devolver Digital was having this huge sale. I mean, huge. And I love Devolver Digital. They made the Deponia games, which are point-and-click style adventures. They've made the Card Shark game, which I've not played, but I've thought about playing on the channel, which I think is really, really cool. And now they've made one now recently called the Red Strings Club, which is kind of this like bar simulation story visual novel. And they made this other one, which is like this witch tarot kind of environment, which is really cool, called The Cosmic Wheel, Sisterhood. And so I love visual novels. Coffee Talk is one of the games I've gushed about multiple times for great music and awesome story. And sometimes it's just fun to sit down and kind of have this visual aid book that you're reading, this game that you can, you're making coffee and doing this. Valhalla was another good example of that. I bought my copy on the Switch, and yeah, I like the accessibility. And then I realized that apparently that sale extended over to GOG, and GOG sends me a thing and was like, hey, do you want to own the actual game? Would you like to, I know you bought it from Nintendo, because my accounts are all linked in GOG. I don't mind if they see what I'm doing, so it's like, would you like to actually own the game? What do you mean? Well, you don't own the game with Nintendo, it's a license, right? Would you like to buy a copy from us? And they sent it to me with a huge sale, like a big sale. It was like not even half of half. And they were like, and we'll give you this, we'll give you an art book, a digital art book, and we'll give you the whole soundtrack. And I'm like, yeah, I'll spend $5 extra to buy all of that and actually own it. So I will actually spend more money to buy a second copy that I actually own if I know that that's the case, from someone like GOG. So your game, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft. Show me that I can own the game on your console, I will buy it on your console. Show me that I own the game, not that I own a license to play it, that I own that game on your console, I'll buy it from you. But yeah, I literally paid $5 extra just to buy it on GOG, because GOG was like, yeah, you can own this. Okay. Thank you, GOG, for always being there for me. I've literally been a fan of you for, what now? What are we at? 15 years? 16 years now? And I talk about it too, the 2018, the FCK DRM initiative that they ran, which I thought was such a cool thing. I mean, it was literally a giant middle finger to DRM and people doing DRM. And maybe it's a ploy, right? Maybe it's like, oh, this will get more people to buy. But who cares? Even if it were, I don't think it is. I really don't. But even if it was a ploy, even if it was like, we'll get people to, even if it was a ploy and it'd be, we'll get more people to buy from us, you still own the game. It's still contingent. That ploy is still contingent on you owning your copy of the game. So I really don't care. I'm fine with that. If I pay extra money to you, but I own my game, fine, cool, fine. So yeah, huge thanks to GOG. Again, I'm not sponsored. I don't get any money for that. I'm not interested in that. If GOG came to me with a sponsorship deal, I'd probably be like, don't even worry about it. I'll just do it for free. I don't even care. I mean, if you want me to be a part of your team, certainly, like, give me whatever you want me to be a part of your team. But like, I'll advertise you guys for free. I have games that I've bought on GOG back in like 2009, 2010 that I literally downloaded the application to a thumb drive because I didn't realize how pervasive DRM would become. And a huge thanks to my friend Kenneth for showing that to me at that time. And we had this like flash drive. We literally just put the game on the flash drive. Didn't have to connect to the internet. Pop the flash drive into my computer. Boom. I could drag and drop the games, launch the launchers from the thumb drive, or drag and drop them and launch them there. No internet. Game's there. It runs. All a minute and a half. And I think the games that I was doing that with at the very first were the Thief games. Boom. Just, they work. And they still do. I still have them. I still own them. I still have them on a thumb drive. I can literally take my whole collection, my whole GOG collection. Like, I don't think I can fit it on a thumb drive because I have hundreds of games on there now. But you could literally take the ones you want and put it on a thumb drive, take it to a friend's house, no internet connection whatsoever, pop the thumb drive in. So long as the computer's capable of running the games, boom, it runs. That's what it should be. That's what gaming should be. But anyway, I was on my soapbox. I think people should own things. And again, takeaways, people should own things. Quit raising your prices for no good reason. Start helping your people. Instead of worrying about how shiny your product is, start helping your people. And if business practices can legally become client hostile, I don't care if it's legal or not, client practices should become business hostile. That's my opinion. But I'm going to go ahead and switch over. I've been on my little soapbox there for now about an hour and a half, a little over. So now I'm going to go ahead and jump on. We'll play Celeste for a little bit, and then I'll leave you guys to the rest of your Sunday. So I appreciate you guys for hearing me out. Those of you that were able to or did tolerate that. I'm very passionate about. I love the gaming community, and I'm very passionate about gamers being able to be gamers without strings attached. I know that people come home from stressful days at work and from awful situations, whether that be marital issues or breakups, work-related stresses and pressures, political pressures, religious, whatever, family trouble, whatever that is, and they jump into a video game and they can get lost for a couple of minutes to a couple of hours. And I think that's what it should be. I think gaming should be that catharsis for them to just decompress for a little bit. And now we started to add all of those things, those troubles and struggles, financial, otherwise, into that escape, into that form of escape for them. And we need to stop that. We need to stop doing that. Gaming needs to remain escapism. The business has to happen, but it can happen behind closed doors where none of us need to worry about it. It's a simple transaction. You make a great game. We enjoy the great game. We own the great game when we buy it. It's done. Bring back the Dreamcast. I really want Sega to make another console. I love Sega. Like, Sega, oh man, really quick, let me say this. I was talking about this the other day. I love the idea. Nintendo did it kind of, and Ash, I think you and I kind of talked about it briefly. I love pack-in titles, especially launch pack-in titles. And these used to be a big deal. When you bought an Xbox back in 01 or 02 or whatever, 01, you got the pack-in title was JSRF Sega GT 2002, and it was 2 discs inside of this double-sided single case. I still have mine from when I got my Xbox, my original Xbox. So both of those games are made by Sega, and they are both fantastic games. that I think stand up today. JSRF has become timeless because of the cell shading, in my opinion. Sega GT 2002, if I showed you that game was 24 years old, 25 years old, you'd look at it and go, wow, these are really... I mean, you wouldn't look at it thinking, oh, this is Forza, but you'd look at it going, well, these are really good graphics for literally a quarter century ago. That's pretty cool. I want Sega to come back and make a freaking... I want them to come back and make a freaking console. Astro's Playroom, great pack. Yeah, that's true too. That was a really, really good one. Pack-in titles, and I know Nintendo's doing that with Super Mario World here, and I'm not complaining about that. I think it's great, but we gotta. I mean, Sega, come on, guys, make another console. Put 2 of your pack-ins in. I don't care if one of them is a Sonic the Hedgehog. I like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't like all of them. They're not all my favorite, right? But I honestly, on the whole, I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I was a huge, huge fan back when the original Sega came out. I was a huge fan of the first one. I still am. As a matter of fact, I think the first one's my favorite one. I know a lot of people think the third one's the best, and that's fine, but I think the first one is my favorite. So I don't care. Come out with another one. Bring a Sonic the Hedgehog. And they've done a lot of great Sonic the Hedgehog since. They've done some kind of rough ones, like Sonic 06 is not great, but... what was the other one? Generations is great, is really, really good. 1, 2, and 3 obviously are fantastic. Colors was pretty great. Unleashed isn't great, but I love it anyway. It's not the most well-made, but it's great. A lot of people like the adventure games, which I thought were they're decent. They're not the best ever, but I mean, for the time, they were fantastic. Nowadays, I mean, we look back at them, it's like, eh. But make a new Sonic the Hedgehog game for this console, and then make another JSRF. I know you're already talking about making another Jet Set Radio game, but put it out on this new console you make, and I'll be there. I will buy that. Make a new Streets of make a new Streets of. Go back to cartridges. Go back, Sega. Make a cartridge-based console again. Go to that. Forget the JSRF idea. Just go back to cartridges. Make a new Sonic game. Make a new Streets of Rage game. Make those. I know Streets of Rage wasn't, but you get my point, right? That's what I would like. Make it again. I'm saying this Sega Genesis, right? You guys call the Mega Drive, we call it the Genesis. Make a Sega Exodus or whatever, Hyperdrive. I don't care, and put it out and make that. I mean, I will absolutely. I don't need no internet connectivity, just cartridges like you used to. Slightly better controller, I would ask, than the Sega Genesis had. Probably something that's maybe a little bit more in line with the Nintendo, or the 6-button controller is fine. Go back to that, make that, and then launch it. I will buy it. It doesn't need to be $700, right? But if you launched it for $200 and it came with a pack-in title, I'd be there. I'd be right there with it. So. We'll get rid of that border. There we go. Yeah, I am... The Sega Mega Jenny Dribble. I don't even care what they call it. I would love Sega to come back and do that. I love Sega. I really do. I think Sega's a fun company. And I think a lot of bad things have happened to them, but I think we shouldn't forget how cool of a company they still are. A really cool company. But even when they were first, again, the Genesis, everyone was like, oh, the Genesis isn't as good as the Super Nintendo. And in some ways, yeah, sure, because they marketed the blast processing, and that was a big deal. But the Sonic the Hedgehog games were freaking fantastic. Golden Axe was a lot of fun. Again, the Streets of Rage games were really fun. Shinobi was awesome. I mean, they did Castlevania Bloodlines is arguably one of the best entries. And again, I'm not saying Sega didn't do that. I know Konami did it, but Konami did it only for Sega, and it was that's arguably one of the best entries in the Castlevania, the 50 Castlevania games there are. I love Sega, so Sega, jump in there and do some stuff. All right, when we last left off, we left off with with, I don't know if this looks, I hope it looks okay to you guys, but when we last left off, we left off from like a mirror, wait, what am I? I think it's okay. I think we're all right. We left off in like a mirror chasm. We had to throw what's his name around a couple of times. That was kind of a cool puzzle, and we were getting chased by little It's impossible to outrun your own reflect. I did know that. These little octopode kind of creatures. And now we're carrying him because we were able to break him out. We're too tired. Oh, we set up camp again. This is kind of like at the very beginning. We probably should not have set up our fire on the thinnest part of the mountain there where it could literally melt through, it looks like. Theo, I don't know why I wanted to call him Johnny. Theo, you're awake. Am I? I'm skeptical. I had a messed up nightmare. Yeah, about that. Wait. Oh, yep, it's all coming back to me now. That actually happened. Thanks for getting us out of there. I'm glad we're in it together. I like the little shy noises they make for her when she's kind of being sheepish. I don't know if I could have done that alone, especially when she was scared and she's like, help, and it's like, beep. Very high-pitched. I like that. Okay, so I'm him now. How long was I out for? It must have been a few hours. Man, what a ride. Tell me about it. Are you okay? I mean, aside from the existential crisis? Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, I have to ask her both. What's really going on here? Clearly this isn't a normal mountain. What's really going on here? I should have told you sooner. Back at the old ruins, a part of me escaped from a mirror. A part I'm not very proud of. I swear I dreamt it. You think the mountain made her real? Yeah. She's been haunting me the whole time. She lashed out at Mr. Oshido. I think she's the reason that the gondola stalled out. And she was there in the temple. Why didn't you say something? I wouldn't have gone into that temple if I knew what this mountain was capable of. I tried to stop you. Yeah, but you didn't actually tell him. You could have mentioned that your demon doppelganger was on the loose. It's got an umlaut above gang. So it'd be, well, I guess so. I didn't know that doppelganger was spelled with an umlaut. Come on, Theo. You know how crazy this sounds. I didn't even believe it myself. Okay. I understand. Next time, just talk to me, though. I promise I'll believe you. And I didn't have much of a choice. Okay. Okay, so now I get to be her. Thank you, Theo. For believing in me back there, I mean. She's just like... Believing in you was the easy part. I wish I could have helped. I was pretty useless stuck in that thing. You actually helped out a lot. Yeah, you did actually. You were hitting switches for us when we threw you, so... Honestly, I couldn't have made it without your support. Why is it so easy for you to trust me? Seriously, you barely know me. Honestly, you remind me of my sister. That's adorable. Well, okay. What's she like? It's just so very happy. Oh, you'd love her. Actually, you might not get along at first, but you'd eventually love her. She's a literal rock star. She's a musician? That's so cool. She's a geologist, maybe. Okay, maybe she's not literally a literal rock star. Alex is just amazing at everything. She's studying to be a civil rights lawyer. Oh, cool. Wow. How do I remind you of her? You both live so deep inside your own heads. Yeah, that's a fair. Yeah. Alex has this amazing internal compass. It's obvious that she'll get where she needs to be. I can see that in you too. I wish I could say the same for myself. let's not do the ego one first. Who do you think built this temple? It looks ancient. It must predate everything else on the mountain. The resort, the ruins, the city. There's a lot of history here. Yeah. The mountain has meant so many things to so many people. I'm starting to understand why that crazy old lady lives here. You ran into her too? What's her deal? I think she's just a mean person. But she does seem pretty content living out here. Alright, so I get to do this one too. Your sister sounds great. I really remind you of her? Are you kidding me? You're the one who's dead set at climbing this mountain. And you don't even know why. That's classic Alex. Aw, I'm just teasing you. Why are you climbing the mountain anyways? You're right, I don't even know why. I just had to get out of my head. But you're in your head, this mountain is the metaphor for that. I'm stuck in a cycle. You're preaching to the choir here. I've had many a soul-destroying day job. Work is fine, actually. Okay, so she's old enough to work. She doesn't seem like it, but okay. I'm just going crazy. I can't stop thinking about dumb crap that doesn't matter. My brain fixates on these stupid things that happened forever ago. I should be over them. None of it even matters. I'm good at keeping up appearances, but the truth is I'm barely holding it together. I'm sorry. That's pretty rough stuff. Can I help? You're already helping. It feels so good to say that out loud. You don't talk to anyone else about it? Nope, not really. My mom knows I get depressed and I have panic attacks. Aw, that's about it. No wonder you feel trapped. How do you cope with anything? I drink, mostly. And get mad at people on the internet. Okay, this is not healthy. She's of drinking age, though, so that's... Okay. Alright, so this is actually a question for me, because I don't actually know what depression is like. I want to see what they describe it as. I'm very fortunate that I'm very fortunate that I don't suffer from any form of depression, nor ever have I been depressed, but equally, that I am also generally alexithymic, which is to say I don't have... I don't really understand positive emotions to the depth that people do either. So I don't experience negative emotions as much as other people, but I also don't understand positive emotions as much. So both of those things are true. Would you mind talking about what depression is like? It sucks. Yeah, but what does it feel like? Alex struggles with it too. I really want to understand it. We can talk about something else if you want. It's like I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I can't see anything in any direction. It's claustrophobic, yet I feel exposed. Okay. I remember feeling normal, but now it feels just out of reach no matter what I try. Well, drinking Drinking is also proven to be something that can exacerbate depression, so... I don't know how it feels, but I can tell you that chemically that's not a good combination. Then again, I was probably always messed up. But it just took something hurtful to bring it out. That's the other thing, too. I do know this. A lot of people that I talk with that have depression will say that. It's like, oh, I'm just messed up. I wish I wasn't so screwed up. It's not you. I will say that again, I don't know what depression feels like, but I don't believe depression is the person that is depressed. I believe depression is an attack on the person that is depressed. It's kind of the conversation that I have with my wife, who does also suffer from depression, is that you're not screwed up. You are being attacked by, it could be your own chemicals, but it's not your fault. You have no control over it. It's an attack on you. It is not you. And you're not screwed up for being attacked any more than if someone were to physically assault you, that you're messed up for being bruised, battered, and bloodied by that person. It's not your fault. That is something else coming and attacking you. You obviously would have chosen to do something else to defend yourself against it or to be away from it, but you didn't have the option, and so this is what happened. Those scars and those wounds are not your fault. They are an attack from something that you don't have control over, and that's, you know, again, I can't speak to what depression feels like, but I can tell you that from what it is, from what it chemically is, and from how it presents itself, it is not the fault of the person who's depressed. Clearly, any person who is depressed would say, I choose not to be. It's not a choice, it's an attack. Yeah, there must be something wrong with me. No, there's it's not your fault. Whatever happened, whatever happened, I'm sure it's not your fault. I guess I thought that I could, I don't know. I'm just floating in this abyss, swimming in a random direction, hoping that I find something. That's really why I'm here. But I can't escape myself. I'm literally fighting myself the entire way. And so that's the metaphor, right? You are fighting yourself the entire way, but it's worth the fight. Maybe this is all pointless. Retro, you just saved my life. That's not pointless. Yeah. Look, you're a good person. You're a little intense, but you're a good person. I think you're just trying to push out of that rut you're stuck in. And that's a totally legit reason to climb the mountain. Maybe. That's helpful. That's this part of you that's haunting you. Maybe she comes with the territory. So you think I'm stuck with her forever? Well, she's stuck with you too. That's a good way to, yeah. That's not helpful. Let's talk about that. So you want to destroy this part of you? Won't that hurt you too? If I don't, she's just going to keep bullying me. She says she's protecting me, but that's obviously not true. Okay, I don't think that that's obvious. Maybe she thinks she is. She could be some kind of twisted defense mechanism. Honestly, who cares? She has so much control over me. I hate it. Maybe you can learn to control her instead. The feather helps a lot. Very adorable. Thanks for teaching me that. Just one of my grandpa's many nuggets of wisdom. Why not take a vacation instead? What do you mean? Dude, you needed to change, so you chose to climb a mountain. Why not do something relaxing instead? Go to Hawaii, or take a bath. I guess I feel like I need to accomplish something. It sounds like you have enough on your plate already. Remember too, appropriate rest and recuperation is an accomplishment. I guess it's kind of extreme, but that's how I am. I need something to challenge me, and I can't just do something a little bit. Well, if it's so hard for you to go on vacation, then that is admittedly a challenge. Go on the vacation. Be challenged to relax fully. It's all of me or nothing. All right. How about you? What brought you to the mountain? I'm just kind of bumming around. As usual. I started this new job in Seattle, and I thought I finally knew what I was supposed to be doing with my life. But I hated it. So I quit after a week and hopped a bus to Canada. I just felt this urge to get lost in the middle of nowhere. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I realize how flaky it sounds. It just sounds like you're under a lot of pressure. Not really. Everyone is so patient with me. Though I guess I am putting a lot of pressure on myself. People always think I'm comparing myself to Alex, but I swear that isn't the problem. I'm just worried that I'll never figure out where I'm going. You said you wanted to feel lost. Maybe you should just embrace that for now. That's maybe. Are you close to your grandpa? I like the story element, so I'm sorry if I could just go to sleep, but I like the story element. Yeah, I was. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. That's just how it is. All I can do is stay positive. and live a meaningful life because that's what he would want. Don't do it because that's what he would want. Do it because that's what you want. And you can take solace in the fact that you two want the same thing. I'm so sorry, Theo. Thanks. What else did you learn from your grandpa? So much stuff. Actually, he was the one who told me about Celeste Mountain. He always said that this place changed his life. After I quit my job in Seattle, I realized how close I was to it. I felt like he was telling me to come here. Grandpa said that the mountain was special. Do you think he went through the temple like us? Do you think he understood the power of the mountain? He never talked about what happened here. I doubt your grandpa was as messed up as me. His experience was probably less violent. He found the mountain before I was born. I don't know what he was like before that. I wonder what he learned about himself here. There we go. You know what? I want to remember this night. Let's take a selfie. All right. I thought you'd never ask. Oh. All right, there we go. And she's got a smile. So they may end up dating, I guess, because we now know she's of age. She's at least 21. Well, yeah. You know, despite everything, I feel pretty good right now. Wait a second. You're going to reach the summit tomorrow? Don't jinx it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to put all of this behind me. I'll be cheering you on. We should get some sleep. So I could have just shut it down and gone to sleep, but I didn't think that was going to be a good idea. All right, good night, Theo. Thanks for being cool. What can I say? It comes naturally. Ah, nice. So there we've reflected more deeply. Oh, and we have the Aurora Borealis, and we have a golden feather. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Quick little break. I am back. Okay, so that lets me... Whoops. So we're actually climbing. No, there we go. And the northern lights are so beautiful. Yeah, they are. Where are we? We need to talk. Okay, so we're... Alright, so this is while we're sleeping. Okay. I finally understand who you are. You're not my true reflection. I'm not. You're everything I need to leave behind. You're cruel, paranoid, controlling. Why would you say that? No, it's okay. I understand now. I don't need you anymore. So you're just abandoning me? I'm setting you free. We'll both be so much happier. You were so stupid. You think you can just leave me behind? You think you can just blame everything on me? You think you're above me? Answer me. Calm down, please. See the little squeaks? I love those. Calm down. She's climbing out of the... I love that she's climbing out of the text box. I think that's really cool. Breathe, Retro. Use the feather. You're going to think about a feather to stop me? You are not above me, and you can't climb this mountain. It's time to accept that. Retro, what's happening? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Oh. That's the least ideal place to fall. No, is it? So we fell all the way down, but we also found this beautiful little crystal chasm. That's a save point. Those are sharp. Oh, well, he goes in whatever direction. Didn't realize that. Gotcha. But now we have the feather, and the feather helps us concentrate. Oh, I see, I see. It's a little difficult. Okay. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Ah, son of a gun. Okay, so it doesn't this thing doesn't automatically accelerate, so that's my problem is I felt like it automatically accelerated, but it does not. So dang it. Ah, that's what I needed to do, but boop. It's very difficult to get there, though. Oops. Dang. This is very, very difficult to do that. There we go. I think I have to go all the way around the long way. It's very hard not to drift up for me. You can see right there, like I had the thing. Let's try it again. Oh. I think the problem with me on this is that it's very free, like it's not on rails at all, and I feel like that'll do. I feel like that I'm just not very good at steering it if it's free, completely not on any rails. Okay, I have to... Yeah, okay. Dang it. Okay, I think I have to go through the more difficult, the left side there. Yeah, there's no way I can make that jump. So I think I have to go through the more difficult side with the feather. There we go. Got it. Okay, had to use the momentum. I always forget that that's the thing you can just do. Okay, there's my checkpoint. Boop. I can't go down there. Let's come over here and see what we have. Okay. I was so close. It's over now. Aw. Why won't you leave me alone? I hate her. That's okay. But she's part of me. I'll never be able to get rid of her. And she was right. I couldn't climb the mountain. That's don't let the doubt get in your way there. Whoops. All right, we're gonna try. Let's see. I think I can just do that. Okay, that's too much. So, I'm wondering... Oh, I see. Maybe. There we go. So I have to be able to figure out how to go... Maybe that's where? Okay. Let's take a look in these little... Because it always feels like there's a secret or something to be found in this, but... I didn't mean to do that. I probably... Okay, so this is kind of like that other puzzle, where I can do this, duck, come down. Whoops! Didn't... Let's try that again, because it's only on the blue sides that I can actually do that. So I can do that like that, and then I can come back down here and do that, and that way, yeah. I like that they have their little tongue stuck out. I think that's kind of adorable. Okay, that thing is enshrined in crystals. So let's do... Okay, I need to hang on to the side of that thing. Some of this is you have to do the trial and error. Some of this you have to do the trial because you just don't know what the path looks like ahead. So like in this case, I know that there's a spike group and I need a momentum to do that. But like, there are always going to be... I think that this is one of the things that... I don't have a complaint about it, it's fine. But it's just one of the things that happens is that you're going to take a couple of deaths. I think, is this for a strawberry? Okay. This little... What is this? Okay, I can bounce off of it and it makes an adorable face. Or... Very difficult for me to hit those diagonals. That's fine. Okay, it doesn't bounce me straight up. Can I just go poop? I'm wondering if I can just bounce like that. It is kind of a fine window for straight up and down. Okay. I also don't know what direction I'm supposed to be going. I just know that this direction hasn't stopped me. That's hasn't stopped me so far. There we go. Okay, so I can break those little ice walls. I guess that's what, but I can't break that one. Okay. Let's see how many of these. I bet there's one of those totem thingies. Okay. Okay, so that we know that there's a thing for a door there, and then down here... Whoops. There's a platform? So I don't know... Whoops. I didn't need that extra jump that time, I thought. Okay, so maybe I need to use the bottom one. Whoops. Maybe I need to use the bottom one to bounce me that extra distance, I bet. Maybe. Yep, that's what it was. Okay. Okay, so the idea was not to go over there. I don't understand why I need the feather, though. I can do that. Let's... have to make sure I hit the gems perfectly, so that's a little tricky. Let's see. That's what I need to do. So I got to do it kind of diagonal again. Still difficult, though. Dang it. I missed the gym. See, there's the diagonal I'm talking about. You kind of have to wait until you're a little bit below and then go off into the side. It does kind of lock you into the direction that you hit when you hit a gym. I guess I could technically just go that route, right? If the jump was correct. It's just, it is difficult to hit that second gem quickly. Son of a gun. I don't even know if this is the right path. Come on. This is... So I need to fall there and then do my boost. I see. Okay. Like that. Alright, that was a tough puzzle. Ah, I need to use that. Oops! I need to use the bottom part of that one. Okay, hold on. I shouldn't have used the dash there. I need to use the dash, but I need to use it diagonally when it's coming back like this, and then like, well, this, and then this, and then now I can do that. But I can't, I don't know how to get across. So I guess I need... Okay, so I think I'm going to use this side of the other one. Whoops. Yeah, because that can throw me forward pretty well. So let's do that. Let's do up, 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 across, up, side, up. Ah, okay, I think that's what it is, though. Ah, dang it. Ah, shoot. Okay, that wasn't even going to be it. These little things are really hard, though, because, again, everything kind of is locked to the 8 directions, which is fine. But then if you miss the eight directions, it is impossible to go off of that course. So, like, you have to wait, basically, for the move to end. Like, if I go up like this, I can't move until the end of that dash. Ah, that was what I needed too. Ah, shoot. Okay, see, like right there, once I hit the top corner of him, I am locked into that top corner. There's no way for me to course correct. That's not, I could have done that, though. I should have done that, actually. I panicked. But yeah, once you hit that, so like if I hit that inner corner there, it's pretty well done regardless of what I do, because I can't course correct until the end of that. I can't course correct until the end of that particular jump arc. So it's like, So you kind of have to think that kind of a challenge is actually, I'm okay with it. I should have let myself go a little farther. There. Okay, I had to save myself for a second. I missed it. I'm trying to hit the farthest sliver right of that one, so that it'll bounce me the farthest. So let me do this. I want to hit the farthest sliver right because I want it to propel me very... I didn't mean to do that. I want it to propel me as far to the right as it possibly can. Boom. Maybe I do need to take... Let me try the right corner, and then I'm going to just try to hit the jump like this. See, I can't quite make it there. So I think maybe I can jump up and catch the other edge. No, there's no way. I hit too far. Boop. Nope. I have to be able to have my dash by that time too, though. That's the other problem, is if I don't have the dash by the time I'm there, I don't have any extra moves. So you are actually thinking about this strategically, because you only get that one extra move. And in a lot of regards, it's how are you going to use that move, or where are you going to use that move? So right now I'm up. Now I want to hit the very far side, try to use that extra move to boost me all the way over to that other guy, where I can then boost myself, hopefully, to the upper left, where I get another boost. Like this. Right? But now yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Okay, so now I have this. Okay, I get it. This one's kind of Donkey Kong Country-esque, because I have to be confident in my boosts. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if it's where I'm supposed to go, but it'll do. I should have boosted. I couldn't break the bubble. Oh, okay. Let's do... Okay. I could have bounced on the bubble, I think, and gotten back my boost, but it's one of those things where it's like, is it worth it at this point? Well, it would be if I would try not to... See, I gotta get a good direction on that. And part of my problem, too, is I'm holding the trigger, and the minute you hold the trigger, you're going to hold on to whatever surface is nearest you. So I need to be able to... I need to break the habit of me holding that trigger, just to prevent me from grabbing onto whatever is going to disrupt my... I had the dive. I mean the dash. And I hit it, and I hit it a frame or two too late. Shoot, okay. I'm kind of curious as to where the other path would have taken me. I mean, I'm wondering if they're all just paths up the mountain, or... I thought I would grab onto the side, because that other one's not in a bubble. I don't have to waste a dash on it. Is it going to start me at the beginning? Yep, that's okay. It's not... It's very fluid. At the same time, it is very difficult. I mean, I'm getting some of this down. Oh, okay, okay. It's just, some of it's timing, some of it's steering, all of it's me. And some of it's also the accuracy of being able to actually hit that button. I mean, of that feather. But it's interesting. What I think is kind of cool, and I don't know if it's something just with me or if it's something that the game promotes, but it is kind of promoting this muscle memory that I otherwise didn't think I, would normally have. So, like, you'll notice, it's definitely taking me I don't know if that bird's good. You notice it's taking me a fair few attempts to get these done, but then when I do them, it seems to move pretty fluidly. Oh, hello again. Of course you're here. Calling it quits, I see. No, I fell. It's over. Well, that's probably for the best. The mountain doesn't pull any punches. Yeah, I get it. I wasn't strong enough to climb your stupid mountain. You can laugh at me again if you want. I didn't mean actually laugh. Sometimes you gotta know when to throw in the towel. You'll get over it. You know what? I had a lot of time to think climbing out of this cave, and I'm already over it. That part of me was right. I can't do this. I'll just go home to my sad life and be miserable forever. Aw. You clearly aren't over it. Shut up, I know. I don't want to give up. But no matter how hard I try, she sabotages me every step of the way. So she's the one that threw you down there, but she's also still a part of you. A lot of kids come here to climb this mountain only to give up. It's a shame that you fell. I was starting to think you'd make it. What makes me so special? I've never met someone so angry at themselves. Honestly, I thought you'd reach the summit just to spite yourself. Gee, thanks. That's actually not bad, though. This girl you're talking about sounds like she's holding you back. Talk to her. Figure out why she's so scared. You think she's scared? I guess I never thought of it that way. Stop wasting both our time and ask her. What do you got to lose? Ask her right there with the lady. I don't know how to find her. She's part of you, right? If you look for her, she won't take long to find. So you know about the mountain's power? Of course I know. I live here. I tried to warn you. You need to work on your messaging. Said the pot, calling the kettle black. A glimpse at the truth is good for people. Even if most can't accept what they see. There's no shame in running back to your car and driving away. Someday you'll be ready and then you'll come back. No, I'm gonna see this through. All right. No more running. I thought so. Good luck. I like the old woman there. How can you stand living here? Isn't it hard to deal with this all of the time? It's true, you never really get used to it. But it keeps me sharp. I like that about it. But the mountain is so confrontational. Sure, it doesn't beat around the bush. Celeste Mountain is a place of healing, dear. The first steps of healing is confronting the problem. It's never easy. Tell me about it. And she's exactly right. Now, I wonder what she represents. Does she represent our wisdom? Or is she really just a lady on a mountain? Don't run from me. Okay, so we're actually going down. She seems to be running from us now. Okay, I thought I saw a save there. There. Looking for me. I thought we were done. You were done with me. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. You think you've got it all figured out? You think you don't need me? I said I'm sorry. We need to move past this. You expect me to trust you? You aren't innocent here either. But I know you're scared. Look, we're at rock bottom. There's no point in fighting. I can keep digging. I could pull us down to the center of the earth. What would be the point? Let's climb out of here. Together. Come close to me and I'll make you regret it. Uh-oh. Dang it. Dang it. Okay, so it's me now accepting my inner demon. Ah, dang it. You gotta wait for the little red ball thing is kind of tricky sometimes. That's fine. Okay, some of the platforms I guess stayed disappeared. And I like the checkpoint on these are pretty generous, thankfully. Seems to be, at least. Okay, I have to be careful because those actually home in a little bit more than I thought they would. Oh, I did not think I was going to land that. I want us to catch our other side there. I want to see what happens. Because I think she's right. I think it's just a... I think it's a fear thing, but I don't know... There we go. Oh, that was... okay. I got caught in the cubby. I was trying to get here. Dang it. There we are. Uh-oh. Let's see. Okay, so I need to boop. Oh, it didn't let me get the gem. Dang it. That was a perfect shot. That was a terrible shot. Perfect sniper. My emotions are a perfect sniper. Meanwhile, I am a slapdash gunman. It's very hard to get that to prevent myself from overcorrecting. It's not the game. It's very... I keep overcorrecting by trying to go create the straight line and then hit up like that. But it's very hard to tell because it does lock very much into the eight directions. It's very hard for me to tell exactly where Like that right there, I felt like I was coasting too much. I can't. I tried to go beyond. I was an overachiever that day. Dang it. I didn't mean to do that. I held the trigger again. Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to hit the... That'll do fine. It won't. I thought I was going to be able to hold on until I could grab the feather again, but the feather didn't spawn until... There we go. I need to be able to slide down the wall a little bit if I'm going to do that. Oh my goodness, that was so close. That was my fault. Oops. I don't feel like I actually hit the crystal on that one. It felt like I was kind of off onto the side. And it doesn't make perfectly tight turns, I will say that. Which is fine, I mean, that's part of the strategy, but it's like... there we go. You do kind of really have to... You do have to kind of really... Son of a gun, come on. I need to go up, not sideways. Perfect shot. I just... Ah, that wasn't what I meant to do. I should have waited and... This first one's a doozy, because it's just, you gotta hit it at just the right angle. See, I can do that, and then I need to get this other one kind of at the diagonal up to the right angle. Like this. Like that, and then like that. There we go. Almost made a mistake there. Didn't mean for that to happen, but that's okay. Okay, so that's going to be a timing. Whoops. That's going to be a timing one, because you don't really have very many directions that you can jump. Ah! You bounce off of her when you touch her too, and it's a pretty hefty bounce. So it's that in addition to trying to kind of keep an eye on... Ah, son of a gun. It's that in addition to trying to kind of keep an eye on the things that are falling. So in my case, I'm trying to use up and to the side instead of diagonal, because that's where her laser is. And so if I hit like right here, I can go up and I know I'm not going to get hit by the diagonal. Same here. And same here. Like that, and then I can hit her diagonal and then come here, and I kind of have that same thing. Like that. Okay, so I need to... And the same way, I can't... like that. I tried to climb and it didn't let me. Okay, so there we are. That was my fault. Okay. I have to be able to create a better path. She's really zooming in now, or honing in now. So I need to really be able to... I needed to hit that little platform and I didn't. That's... Again, that's on me. So in this case, it's again, it's kind of what I was saying when you kind of don't have an option. You kind of don't have an option but to die a few times, because I don't know what the path is going to look like in a lot of cases. So like right here, I shouldn't have jumped. But see, like, I don't know what the path looks like, and so I have to kind of... I mean, it's possible, obviously, to do it in one, but it's going to be a lot more difficult because I don't know exactly what direction I'm going to need to go in order to hit her, even. Or what platforms are available to me. So in this one, like, I know that platform is available to me now. I didn't mean to do that either. But like, you can kind of see where there are some built-in deaths that are just going to happen, which I think is probably intentional because of, like, story. I couldn't move. That was completely on me. Ah, I missed the platform. Dang it! I wanted to jump up and I jumped to the side. What happened? I couldn't tell if I hit the crystal on that or what. So you can kind of... It's kind of a natural falling path to this, it looks like. I did you a favor. You aren't a mountain climber. I'm just trying to help you.
None of this would have happened if you had listened to me. Ah, dang it. Okay. Her color is kind of fading, too, so I think maybe her resolve is also. Uh-oh. I gotta wait. That's a momentum one. Okay, come on. Oh, it's... Oh, I didn't see the crystal there. Uh-oh. Dang it. Is it going to take me all the way back? Yeah. I can't. Okay. I couldn't recover. I didn't realize the platform disappears. Ah. It's really difficult to see all of the crystals too. Like you can see them, like when you're not focused in on where your character is. Like you guys might be able to see it a lot better than I am, because, like for example, I didn't see that little one there on the platform. Okay. Uh-oh, that was on accident. The other thing is the momentum here is throwing me farther up than I anticipate. Ah, I should have landed on the grass first. Ah, I should have gone sideways. It's okay. There we go. Okay, I did not expect that to... Uh-oh. Okay, I didn't see that. Uh-oh. This one's not a terrible path. This one's kind of got some... No, I don't think there's any way I can get back. So how do I get her there? Thought I had grabbed on. I guess I hadn't. Whoops. Okay. I'm gonna lower my microphone again. Okay, so I guess am I supposed to grab on to... I'm wondering if I'm supposed to grab onto that little spiky guy, but he'll cram me into the spikes the minute that I... Right there, right? I don't... And he's got spikes on top of him, so I can't stand on him. Whoops. Let's see. I forget that there are, right there at the very bottom are spikes. Let's see. I fell asleep. This part looks insane. It is quite insane. It's really good. It's really fun, but it is definitely difficult. See? So that's where I can't figure out. That's where I'm... Whoops. That's where I'm trying to figure out... Oh, I touched my toe. Touched it. Okay, there's that. I can do this. Boom. But see, that's the part. So I'm wondering if I just grab onto the top of that. I don't know how to get her down there. That's the thing. She's in an area where I can't really just go as far as I can tell because there's stuff. There's nowhere to stand. Oops, that was my fault. Okay. See right there, there's nowhere to stand or to grab. Okay, so I guess I can just dash straight into her then. Okay, didn't realize that. Whoops. Okay. And there's no wall to grab, and I that's me. I need to just fall down that hole. So it's there. That wasn't what I intended to do. That was my fault completely. Okay, there's that. Okay, and then the momentum of that has to carry me. Got it? Okay, so it's this, down, here, around, down, here, around, over here, let the momentum carry me, and then I have to fall down that hole. Got it? It's a tough game. Again, it's more about figuring out the pathing of this than anything else. It's not super punishing once you figure it out because the muscle memory is there. It's a kind of a fast... It's a kind of a fast muscle memory, so like when I lose, I don't feel... Whoops. I don't feel like I've lost a whole bunch, necessarily. I gotta remember that there's no platform there. Whoops. Oh, that was just this perfect shot for her, from her. She's getting really good with the shooting because I'm getting predictable. It's also the pathing has to do with the timing of her shot also. Ah, ha, ha. I need to hit the little guy. Oops. What did I hit? Did I hit the spikes at the bottom? Maybe. I may not have held on like I was supposed to. There we go. Okay, so this one's got to be a diagonal jump and a fall. Oh my goodness sake. Okay, I get it. I get it, but I didn't mean I'm good at it. I feel like that I tense up too much on the right-hand side when I do that, and then I don't focus enough on the diagonals. And that may be exactly what I'm doing. I'm not sure. That's fine. Oh, I almost had that. Son of a gun. That's all right. That's on me. Checkpoint. Nice. Yeah. Have you guys done this one yet? Play this game? Well, to this point yet, or I'm sure you know what's to come if you have. I don't, but that's okay. The goal here, I think, is... Oh, man. The goal here, I think, is to inundate you with just everything. You've got crystals and feathers and the lasers to worry about. And it's okay. I mean, it's a good... Let me try the D-pad, see if that helps me at all. Not really. I have the world record in this? That's impressive. That's impressive, because this is not easy. Oh, sarcasm. I was going to be like, I wouldn't... If anyone was going to have a world record in this, bud, I would believe it, that it would be you. That'll do. Okay, the music went away, so I'm hoping that she's more afraid of me now. Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you, of all of the, just side note, I didn't mean what I was saying sarcastically. If any of us would have a record in this of any kind, let alone a world record, I wouldn't put it past you. All right, let's talk. Fine. You win. I guess you don't need me after all. If you want me to go away, I'll try. That's not what I want. I need your help more now than ever. Please, let's work together. Work together? You're joking, right? It's okay to be scared. Are we gonna get a new power to... Aw, she doesn't like us still, but that doesn't matter. Aw, she gave us a hug. And then she dies like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Alright. She became one with the Force. I can see this being fun to see two people learn to run in a friendly race, like two people looking to complete it for the first time with breaks. Oh, absolutely. Oh, we are together. That's what I thought. It's a double jump because my hair's pink, then now, and it turns blue when I'm out of energy. So that's what I thought immediately. That was, oh, what a cool way to, what a cool little piece of storytelling to say, hey, your hair turns red when you double jump the first time, and you know that you can jump when your hair is red. That's really well done. I think this would be a fun game to learn. I think this would be a fun game to learn in general. I mean, I honestly have enjoyed this. I have my nitpicks with it, but I have absolutely enjoyed it. Okay, and so that means that we might be able to clear the more distance than we ever were because we can double jump. Boop, boop. Oh, and now I can use the dark orb. I don't actually know what that is. Yeah, it's her. Oh, friendship. Actually, it's just all me, so there's no friendship. Loneliness. All right. How do we do that? If we can climb like that, maybe we can still reach the summit. You still want to climb the mountain? Why would we go back up there? Uh-oh. It's good to see you two playing nice. Hey, thanks for talking some sense into me earlier. Don't mention it. I'm glad I can still be useful every now and then. I love one eye closes at the other. Is that Theo? Yep, that's Theo. Hi, Theo. You're okay. I ran down to help, but it looks like you're doing fine. Thanks, Theo. Honestly, maybe that fall was what I needed. Sometimes pain is the greatest teacher. Is this the part of you were talking about? She's like an adorable goth retro. Hi. You were right, Theo. I shouldn't be afraid of her. If her and I work together, we could still finish the climb. I think we can still finish the climb. That's so rad. Wait, no, I didn't agree to this. You said we'd talk about things first. You're right. I understand that you're scared, but we both know that this is something we want to do. We have to try one last time. Yeah, you've got this. I don't know. We were so close and then we, fell. The mountain tore us apart. Yeah, that happened. But I have to believe we can put it behind us. I have to believe we're capable of this. It's not a bad idea. It'll still be difficult, mind you. But I'm amazed you've got as far as you did, butting heads like you were. I reckon you can make it if you cooperate. Okay, I'll try. Can I help? You've already done so much for me. Let me hold your bag at least. Good idea. This won't take long. So I'm wondering now, can we jump higher now that we're not lugging the bag around? Aw. We've become at peace, I suppose. And then there's the old lady and the bird, which I love. And then I think it's a little raven. And then we have Theo. And we finished the 6th chapter. We died a lot. I'm okay with it, though. 327 deaths. Fair, though, because it was basically boss fight the whole way. And it looks like we're reaching the summit in chapter 7. Let's see what this says. Yeah, the summit. That's what that looked like. I know that they said that there are, I think, 9 chapters, or there's some bonuses in 9, but I think we're going to call it. We've been doing basically, with the exception of the beginning, we've been doing 1 chapter per episode, and I think that's probably a good break-off. So, what do you think, guys? I hope you guys liked it, had fun watching me play it, die 300 and however many times it said I just did, 315 or something. But I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it. Let me go ahead and move us over here. I had a lot of fun. Oops, make sure I can hear myself. I had a lot of fun. I think I like the game. Honestly, on the whole, I would say this game so far, I'm enjoying. I don't know why Gavin's upset. He's angry at something, but I don't know what it is. This has been fun. It's a game about, the story has been more introspective and had more twists and turns and symbolisms and such. And I'm going to be GG on the progress. Thank you so much. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Again, I don't know about depression. I don't suffer from depression, and I don't feel that I'm able to speak on depression very well. So this game is deep and has a lot of meaning, but it's not something that I can speak to very well, very intelligently, except for to say that one thing that I am certain of is that people who are depressed, it is not their fault. That's the one thing I can say certainly. It is an attack. It's something happening to you, not something that you are doing. And I hope those of you who have to deal with that, basically, the easiest way to say it is I hope everyone is okay, and I hope that that's something that you have realized in whatever other efforts and all of the different varying ways that it makes itself manifest. I hope that that's something that you do realize is, regardless of how you experience it, there's nothing wrong with you. It's a thing happening to you. That having been said, the game is adorable. The game is really adorable. I think it's quite adorable. It's a very cutesy looking little game, and it packs a punch. It's definitely difficult, but I've had a lot of fun with it. Again, I said I have my gripes and my nitpicks. If I were going to give it a rating, I'd kind of want to finish it first, but I'm putting it on. I would put it on the list of people should play it. I think people who like to platformer should play it, and if you like challenge, you should play it. Now, again, if you're someone who has a favorite out there, the platformer, and you want it to kind of stack up to that platformer, it's probably not going to. It's something very different. It's not going to be like a Mario. It's not going to be even like a Shovel Knight or a what is the other one I'm trying to think? Hollow Knight. That was the one I was trying to think of. It's not quite going to be like that. It's going to be more like it's kind of its own thing, but it's going to be closer to, I guess, Hollow Knight than anything. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. I like the aesthetic. The music is great. So far, I have had more fun than I thought I was going to have playing this game, and I'm actually enjoying it quite a lot. So, what I will say though, again, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your Sunday, a wonderful rest of your weekend. I want to say thank you very much to Ash, to Thumb, and to Fighting Max for popping in, saying hi, paying me a visit, and just keeping me company through this, considering, and thank you for your patience, considering the amount of deaths and trial and error it was. I don't think it actually took that long. We're finishing, I think, a chapter pretty well every hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half, up to 2 hours, but I think it's pretty close to a chapter every hour and a half, and I don't think that's too unreasonable, considering the game is meant to be as challenging as it is. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful rest of your weekend, rather, and a wonderful beginning to your week. Again, if you are someone who enjoys just watching people enjoy having playing games or talking candidly with people, and it's just something, it's not about internet, it's not about content creation, it's not about monetization, it's not about any of those things, more so than it is about just enjoying playing video games again, I highly recommend checking out some of either my other stuff, some of the more mellow stuff if you're not into this, like Oblivion, or my favorite game ever. I've played KOTOR. I think it was a 10-episode run. Check all of that out, and more importantly, check out the people down below: the Siren Ivy, Thumb Bros, Ash, Omega Ace Gaming, and Fighting Max. All of these, and Viddy. Let's not forget Viddy. All of these guys are people that I absolutely stand behind. The people that want to focus on bringing good games, fun challenges, and a sense of community back to the internet instead of focusing on just all of the divisiveness and all of the ridiculousness that's going on now. People that really want to focus on the things that I believe matter, and I think it's very important. So
have a good rest of your day. You please do the same, Thumb. I think this game works well in the episodic format. I hope so. I hope it's nice. I think it's pretty digestible, and it gives me enough of a time to play and enough of a break. It's really fun, so. But I hope you all, again, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Have a wonderful start to your week, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.